Let's see how. Tell me how it looks.
Okay, my thing won't come on.
You're alive. Let's see how it sounds and looks because this. Peace, everyone. Greetings and peace. I see 0 people in there. Comments. Mine is 0 too. There's 5. Greetings, everyone. Peace and blessings. Let me get a mic check. Let me see if everybody can hear me. There's major technical difficulties happening right now. Can you all hear me? Press 1 if you. Oh, you know what? I have the mic here.
Okay, here's a few people asked.
Okay, let me see something. Press 1 if you can hear me. Why is this all over? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. This is crazy. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Can you all hear me? There is major. How do I look on the screen? Yeah, this
You
is.
sound clear.
Hmm?
You sound clear.
How do I look? How am I moving? On my end, it's like frozen. Crazy. Okay, we're gonna try our best. We can't play the music, the videos. We're just gonna try our best here because there's some major audio and video delays going on. Let me see here. Okay, peace, everyone. Greetings. Welcome to the Tehuti Podclass. It's a little.
You sound good.
Okay, it's a little rugged as far as the computer system was slow. Everything was moving very, very slow. But we're here and we're going to try our best to get this class going. I couldn't even play the intro because it was just too slow. So we are here. Mic check. Press 1 if you can hear me. I see. Let's see. Okay, let's go through the crowd and see. And I'm going to need somebody to come on to the screen today to see how you look and sound on my end. Okay, so let's do a mic check. Welcome to the Tehuti Podcast. We have This is chaos. Okay, mic check again. Let's do a mic check. Press 1. The computer somehow self-muted. The computer is going crazy today.
It's you're on. 1.
Computer is going crazy today. Let me see some ones in the screen. Ones on the screen if you can hear me. Uno. Good, good. Okay, we got some ones. We got Casey Coogan in the house. Peace, Casey Coogan. We have Kamit 101. We cannot have a class without Kamit 101. Peace, Kamit. One of the most dedicated, the biggest donator to the Tehuti Podclass thus far. We have a wonderful, is that Andrea Wasson? Andrea Wasson, awesome, awesome, awesome. Nice to see you. Another dedicated young lady to the Podclass. This is wonderful. Thank you. Okay, great. Got my water here. All right, welcome to the Tehuti Podcast, everybody. We're about to get right into it and get started. My name is Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. I've been a teacher for over 30 years, teaching throughout America and Canada. I've been teaching publicly from anywhere from 40 to 500 people at a time several years ago, and then I went into silence. I went into quiet mode. I started just teaching individuals that I know, and individuals within my circle and my family. And then, one second, everybody. And then a wonderful young brother that I met named Ahati Ma'at. I started teaching that young man years ago, and he came onto the computer, onto the internet, saw several teachers, quote-unquote teachers, and he was not satisfied. He came back to me, he said, Tehuti, well, he didn't call me Tehuti that time, but he said, you need to get onto the internet. There's a lot of people teaching on the internet, and you need to get back so people can remember who you were. And so after 5 months of coercing, I finally came back live due to the brother Ahati Ma'at. And when I came back live, I started I was invited to a debate league and to do an interview, and then I ended up doing a debate. I didn't come there for a debate. I did an interview, and then the interview turned into a debate setup with the champion, and I ended up beating him. And then it went on and on from there. I just kept on beating everybody in the debates, and I was only there to teach, and it turned into me just beating several people. And then I went on to Sonnetter, debated 2 of his people there, beat them, and then I was on Killer Priest, and so people started recognizing who I was from years ago. Some of the students that are in the class probably right now who remember me from over 28 years ago, and they were so happy to see me come back public live, because to them I disappeared for a long period of time. Anyways, I came back live. I started teaching one-on-one classes for people who paid for the one-on-one classes. It was reciprocity, and they would pay me per hour to do the classes with them. And eventually it became too many people. So what happened was I told people, you know what? I announced on the Killer Priest podcast one day, I said, I'm going to open up a class on YouTube for everybody to be able to participate live, and you all can ask me questions, and all I ask for is reciprocity and super chats. Send the super chats, and I will answer the questions. At any rate, YouTube saw my content, removed the super chat ability. So I designed my own super chat, which is based on Cash App and PayPal, which I'm about to put on the screen right now. So how this works, ladies and gentlemen, is because I don't have super chat ability. Oh, there I am. Because I don't have super chat abilities, I have on the screen the Cash App and the PayPal. There it is right there. It's a little slow due to technical difficulties, but there it is at the bottom right there. PayPal is Rocky SV. Cash App is TT Amoon, where people can send their questions in. I will get notified, and once I see the question, I answer the question. It helps support what I do. This is what I do for a living, and those who have seen the Tehuti Podclass understands how thorough I actually answer questions. This is for donations, for support, and also for questions. It is reciprocity. It also allows everybody to have cheaper classes, because my classes before, people were paying me several amounts of dollars per hour, and it was only 1 hour sessions. The Tehuti pod class that I'm doing right now, I give about 3.5 hour sessions, and multiple questions can be asked, and they will be put on the screen. The people will be shouted out, and then I will proceed to break down dates, facts, history, archaeology, anthropology, science, religion, and anything that is needed as a multifarious source, and you will have your answer forever stamped in YouTube history. And this is how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. So I will go ahead and put some things on the screen, and then I will go ahead and check my notifications. I actually have two that have already been sent, and two from last week. So let me go ahead and also show another way of supporting. Another way of supporting the Tehuti Podclass is I have several books. I have a few books, two of them that I put out for the public, for newcomers, and that is this one right here you see in front of you, Melanin Dark Consciousness, and the other one is Stepping Out of the Matrix, right there. Boom, boom, boom. Right there, you can see it. Okay, so those books you can order. The moderators will give you the email and tell you and tell you how you can contact me to request how to order those books, and they're action packed with a lot of information, and also teach you how to teach new people. Okay, speaking of moderators, a lot of chat rooms have moderators. We have something a little different. Something that was invented by a young man. I don't know if he is in the room right now. He's one of our dedicated students who comes to the class. And actually, I met him on the Killer Priest pod class. And his name is Stranger. He created this term right here that you're about to see on the screen. And the term is moderators. Here are the moderators. These are the people that you can ask how to navigate in the room, ask about my past debates, future classes, emails, how to send in questions, how to support, things of the such. These are the moderators. Shout out to Stranger who created the term the moderators. They are Anki and Ma'at, Nasi, Anki and Ma'at, Nani Aset Mer, and Saneti Amun. These are the people that you send in the information to if you want to know how the class is operating. Do not, I repeat, do not send them in information questions. Do not put knowledge questions in the chat. I will not see them. The moderators will not answer them. There's one way and one way only to send questions, and you send them to the Cash App and the PayPal. Do not send them to the moderators. That will disrupt the class. And there's one teacher here, and that is myself. I will show an example of what happens when somebody sends in a donation, a support donation. So, for example, there is someone from some weeks ago. This is Quinn Clark. He sent in $10. I show it on the screen, and then the question is proceeded to be answered. That is how we work at the Tehuti pod class. It doesn't matter if you are for the information or against the information. I will in no way ever disrespect anyone that comes to the class asking a question. There's no such thing as a stupid question. There's no irrelevant question. There's no insults to the question. There's no ad hominems. There's no insulting anybody. Nobody has to worry about coming here and getting into arguments and insults and the things that you see that may go on other channels. They do not happen here. I strictly deal with information, because my motto is one thing when it pertains to this class, and that motto that everybody knows is ancestral artifacts over religious opinions. And we'll say it again: ancestral artifacts over religious opinions. If you can see that right there, boom. Ancestral artifacts over religious opines. All right. So what does that mean? What does ancestral artifacts over religious opines or opinion means? That means that we go by historical facts that our ancestors left us, not by new age movements, new age thinking, opinions, creative gish galloping all over the planet. Our ancestors left us a lot of information, and when speaking upon them, we can only go by that. So if you want to talk about Hebrews or ancient people from Kemet or Nile Valley or any of the ancient people that people speak on that say that those are our ancestors, we will only ask you to show forth factual information on what they left. First-hand written account or stone, stela, papyrus, anthropology, something. But we just don't go by opinions. Okay. With that being said, this is my spider Charlotte. Yes, she is alive. She is a Mexican red knee. And I have animals around me because I am more in tune with what people are calling animals than what people are calling humans. These type of animals are very calm. They do not submit to the matrix. They do not do forms of entertaining drugs. They live as they're supposed to live, and they're a great example to me of nature. This is Nakas. Nakas is from Honduras, his species. He is a Honduras tricolor. He is hypomelanated, which means he has extra melanin. Because he has extra melanin, he's no longer tricolor, he's duocolor. That means his third color is actually covered by the melanin, and you can't see the third color, so you mainly see reddish, orange, and black. But he actually, in his original state, without being hypomelanated, they have three colors, and they actually look like they imitate another poisonous snake called a coral snake. And when animals see red in nature or yellow in nature, it reads to them as poison. He is hypomelanated, so all you see is the red and the black. His name is Nakash. Nakash is where they get the word for serpent in the Bible, Genesis 3:1, when they say the serpent was the most subtle of all the beasts in the field. They use the word Nakash, which was stolen from Nakashi, which was the name of the natives on the Nile Valley who live closer to the Ethiopian side. All right, with that being said, let's get started. This is my AI moderator who will also pop up on the screen, and she will tell you to support too. Support with cash apps and questions to TT Amun, Rocky SV. There she is pointing. Speaking of which, we're about to get started, ladies and gentlemen, with a Tehuti Podclass. And like I said before, if you disagree with any information, not a problem. State your contention, state your question, send the information that you have or question in the form of a cash app. And if you are respectable, I will even allow you to come onto the screen and we'll have a short conversation. There'll be no insults, there'll be no name calls, there'll be no ad hominems. None of that will happen here. There's too much information out there in the world to have time for personal insults. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. It is 8 o'clock here where I am, and we're going to go to about 10:30. We have some questions already in, so peace to everybody. I'm going to give a shout out to a couple more people that are in the room that are consistent, again, with the donations, with the support, and with the questions. And I see them in the room. A couple people have popped up since I did the introduction. Oh, my screen is froze. I'll be able to get Rigo. So Rigo was here, but I didn't give him a shout out, so I'll give him a shout out now. Peace to Rigo. He's another consistent person that comes into the room. There is Rigo. Peace, Rigo. Let me get some of these things off the screen. I'm going to do another mic check, and then we are going to get started right into the information, and I'm going to check my notifications to see who has sent support, questions, and donations, and we'll get right into them. Let me get some of these things off of the screen. So we'll get that off the screen. We're going to go ahead and get Rigo off the screen. He should already be off the screen, but there is some technical difficulties and a little bit of lag, ladies and gentlemen, so bear with us. Okay, Nania Setmer says 1. Press 1 if you can hear me, please. Let's get the chat room up. Let's get some questions going. Let's get some conversations going. Okay, good. All right, let's see a couple ones. I want to see. Somebody says there's no sound. Very interesting. Wait a minute. Let me scroll down. That may be a lagged message. There is Sinetia Moon. There she is. Sinetia Moon is one of the moderators. Here's an example of what the moderators do. Purchase books to contact Tehuti via email, mysticaltelevision@gmail.com. That is what the moderators do. Thank you, Sinetia Moon. Here is one of the most consistent people and supporters in the room. His name is Robert Williams. Peace, Robert Williams. Peace to you. We got... is that Arcad? Thought I saw Arcad in the room. Arcad, if you're in the room. There he is, Arcad Infinite. Shout out to Arcad. Peace, another consistent person. Everybody can seem to hear me. There is Master K. Shout out to Master K. Let's get this class started. I'm going to get these things off the screen. And I'm going to go ahead and get things started here. So, boom. Let's get it on. I'm going to check. I couldn't even do my intro today, ladies and gentlemen. You know that nice intro we do? Couldn't even get that done because the computer, something is lagging. Not sure what it is. But let's go ahead and get this off the screen here. Okay, boom. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of lagging going on. Did I get off the screen? No. Okay, let me go ahead and try it again. We're going to get this off of the screen. Let's see. Nope. Okay, one moment, everybody. Okay. PayPal. Okay, here it is. Boom. Let's get it off the screen. Let's see if it's gone. It is gone. Boom. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and pull up my Gmail. Let me see what questions are sent, what donations are sent, and actually, I'm going to start off with a couple from last week, and two was sent new right before I started the class. So let's go ahead and pull this up. There may be a little slow delay because the computer is slow. Things are really slow today. I'm not sure why it's that slow, but that's okay. Okay, so while that's pulling up, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the questions. Welcome to the Tehuti Podclass, everyone, where you can come and get straight information, no gish gallop, no extra talk, no insults, no bad energy, no making people look silly or stupid because they just merely are trying to get information. Okay, so we're going to get into it right now. I'm going to go ahead and get to, and everybody please support the Cash App, please support the PayPal. This is what I do for a living. I know for many years in our unfortunate state of ignorance, we have spent thousands of dollars on fried chicken, Doritos, cigarettes, beer, going to all kind of clubs, parties, hotels all over the place, extra gas just to drive around, and we're basically supporting a system that is destroying us physically, mentally, and spiritually. So supporting the Tehuti Podclass, where you're actually getting positive, helpful information, should be much easier and much more much easier to do than when we were in the Matrix and supported a whole bunch of nonsense. I can't even imagine how much money we've spent on sugar and all kind of garbage, but none of that anymore. We're here to feed our minds with health and knowledge. I'm now pulling up some past questions. Okay, Nakash, we're going to put you up here. Hang out up there just for a moment. Okay, hang out up there for a minute, young man. There you go. Okay, boom. Okay, bear with me. Here we go. I want to get right started into it. Oh boy. The computer has had it. The computer has had it. Okay, let's go ahead and pull up old. Okay, Podclass. I see the emails, ladies and gentlemen. A few people have sent support already. That is wonderful and awesome. Thank you all for that. I appreciate it. And let's get into it. Here we go. The computer is snail pace today. We are snailing it up. The computer is in a tortoise race. Okay, we're pulling it up, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with us. We have some good questions, actually, I see. We got some good questions. Is Imani Manifesto in the room? Imani Manifesto, are you in the room? I see you as the first question, actually. Imani Manifesto, are you in the room? Doing a check for Imani Manifesto. Are you here? Okay. Wow, the computer's going so slow. So slow. Okay, here we go. Boom, I'm getting somewhere. Oh, wow. Amazing how slow this is going. Amazing how slow this is going. Oh, boy. Okay, what's this? April 29th. Okay, here we are. Boom, we are here. And Amani Manifesto, I'm going to check the room and see if Amani Manifesto is in the room. He has the first question. And now my screen is blurry. This is amazing. All kind of computer strangeness is going on. Let me move this closer. Boom. Okay. Now it's there. And now. Okay, here we go. We got 60 people in the room already. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Amani Manifesto, are you in the room? I'm about to check right now. Maneuvering over here to the screen. And let's see if Amani Manifesto is here. He had a question. Scroll down. Oh, here's one of the unofficial moderators. The brother that I was actually telling you all about. His name is Ahati Ma'at. Here he is in the room with us. Here he is in the room with us. Ahati Ma'at. Why is it showing R2? There it is. The computer is alive today. It's showing an R2. I don't even know why it did that. Okay. Ahati Ma'at. Yeah, Chrome does load viruses. Yeah, absolutely. It does load viruses. Yep. Okay. Ahati Ma'at is an unofficial moderator. And shout out to him and respect to him. Okay. So let's get started, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get into the questions that were asked. And everybody send your support and respect to the Cash App and the PayPal for questions. I do not answer questions and comments that are just in the chat. I really don't even see them. I have too many comments and questions that are sent to support. This is reciprocity here. Let me go ahead and fix this. See if I can fix this camera a little bit here. And it's clear. And let's put it here. And it's okay. We're a little clearer. Okay, good. Shout out to Ahati Ma'at. You are awesome and fabulous. So like I said, if let's get into it, everybody. I don't see Imani Manifesto, but it's all good. We're going to get into his questions. So here's how questions are answered on the Tehuti Podclass. Here's how questions are answered on the Tehuti Podclass. So we're going to get into the first one. Let's get into the first one here. And the first one was sent by Imani Manifesto. Shout out to you for the support. Let's go ahead and put it up on the screen. Put you up on the screen. Let me see. So here's how we do. We actually put you up on the screen when you send your Cash App and your support. And we give you a shout out. I do this manually because we do not have the super chat here. So I'm pulling it up, and I'm going to pull it up manually. And we have Imani Manifesto with the first question. Let's get into it. All right. Okay. Ooh, you hear how that sounds? That's how slow the computer is going. Even the sounds are slow. Okay, let's go. Let's see. Pulling it up so I can get it on the screen for Imani Manifesto. He is E-Manifesto, I believe is the right way to say it. E-Manifesto. He's one of the most dedicated supporters on the Tehuti Podclass. Let's go ahead and put his question on the screen. And here it is. Boom. E-Manifesto. And let me get another mic check, make sure everything is working properly. So once I start speaking, I can just flow and not do mic checks while I am flowing. Even the uploading is slow. Okay, here we go. Imani Manifesto is on the screen. There it is. Imani, a manifesto, said for the importance of totems and how to find yours. E-Manifesto, shout out to you. He has the first question, which is the importance of totems and how to find yours. That is a great question. I Manifesto. Yes. The importance of totems and how to find yours. Let's go and see. This time I'm going to go to the chat to see what people say, and then I'm going to get into the answer, because I hear a lot of people, especially in the new age, talk about totems, that you have to find your totem and find your spirit guide, and they associate it with totems. They like to use that word. I'm going to go in the chat for a moment and see if anybody knows what is this thing. What is this totem? What is it? The people talk about a totem pole, and they want to put up totem poles, but what is it actually? That's a great question, right? Isn't it? Isn't it awesome? Robert Williams says that's a great question. Shout out to Sullen Rock, Rashu. Shout out to you, another consistent person that comes to the podcast. Hotep, Hetapu, and greetings to you. Hetapu, and greetings to you. All right, so what is this thing called the totem? What is it? Let's find out. So, E-Manifesto or I-Manifesto, if you are in the room, say something. If not, I'm going to go right into it. So let me go ahead and try to fix this. I don't know why it goes blurry like that. Very strange. But let's get into it. Great question, right? So what is this totem? What is it? What's a totem pole? What's going on here? Let's find out. So according to a lot of the new age people, totems are your spirit guides, your spirit animals. They're symbolic animals that you have to find yours. You have to align with yours. All of that is completely 100% incorrect. It is incorrect. It is unverified. And that is not what the people that created the totem said that it was. Right? So that is not what they said that it was. Let's go into the facts of what actually it is. Let's actually look into the facts and look into the word itself. And we're going to look into a tribe. Oh, there is There is Black Alucard, one of the biggest donators, most consistent donator ever to the Tehuti Podclass. You are awesome. Shout out and peace to you. You are awesome. And like Ahati Ma'at says, bring it back to the facts. Absolutely. Let's get to the facts, because the more you get closer to the new age is the more you get into philosophy and made up stuff, usually going back to Europeans. Okay, so let's get into it, everybody. Everybody like and share at the bottom. Like and share this out. Let people see what's going on. So we're going to get into the totems. And I hope you all appreciate this because there's really nowhere else where you can send in random questions that aren't even about. I saw somebody type, let's not limit ourselves to Kemet, different things like that. What you'll find in the Tehuti Podclass is that you can come here and ask about multiple cultures, multiple aspects of reality, spirituality, things that are going on today, government conspiracies. I'm actually not limited to anything. My spirituality itself is Ma'at, but that is my personal spirituality that I don't push on anyone. I just verify where it came from and teach people who want to know about it. But that is my personal spirituality. But I teach on our ancient culture, starting with the Nile Valley because that was the first, and then moving on to others to see where things come from. So that is E-Manifesto. We're going to get into the real definition of totem, and we're going to get into a tribe and a place of where I was raised for a long period of my life. Let's see if this pulls up. Okay, let's see if this pulls up here. Slow mode. But that's okay. Here we go. So, we're going to get into these people right here. Most people have never heard of these people, and they are called the Anishin Abeg. Anishin Abeg. This is actually one of the origins of where this totem concept starts from. They're not just one people, though. They're a whole group of people. So, the Anishin Abeg are indigenous people in the Great Lakes regions of Canada and the United States, right? The Ojibwe, this brings back memories. I used to live in an area where natives were common, reservations were also common, and it's bringing up some memories. But Odawa, right? The Potawatomi, the Mississaugas. That actually was a place where I lived, which was the name of a Native American family called the Mississaugas. Nipissing and the Algonquin peoples. The word Anishinaabe means people from whence Lord. Another definition refers to the good humans, meaning those who are on the right road or path given to them by the Creator Gitchi Manitua. Or beings made out of nothing, or spontaneous beings. Okay. This is a beautiful young lady. She's actually an activist in this community, and at the time she was extremely young doing it in her early teens. And this is the symbol of the group of the people, and that's why underneath you have the name of some of the tribes, or what are called clans, which are really totems. We're going to get into that. So you have the Anishinaabe, and then you have the Ojibwe, the Algonquin, Odawa, and Potawatomi. Those are the tribes, some of the tribes that are within that family, and then they split up into clans. Okay? So, when we go to the Ojibwe People's Dictionary, and we look at totem, and we see if this definition matches what the New Age metaphysical so-called spiritual people say that it is. A totem, right, is actually this. So it's actually, that's not even how it's pronounced. It's Udem, or from Nad, which means my clan, right? So Duudem or Nad stem from clan, or totem, your family, your clan, your gidu dem, your clan, or odu dimen, his or her clan. Right, that is the Ojibwa People's Dictionary, and then this was mispronounced by Europeans as totem. It's actually several different. There's actually several different words, and they all go back to family lineage or your clan or your tribe. Once we understand that, we already see that the New Age concept of totem is completely knocked out of the box, because you have a bunch of people going to New Age stores saying, I want to know my totem, my spirit guide, completely forgetting the fact that the Nduandem is your clan, is your family. Okay, so now, when I always say we go back to the ancestral artifacts, what the ancestors say or what indigenous people say about themselves, as opposed to religious opinions, that is what I mean. So we must always keep others within the parameters of what they say it is. We do not have totems as New Age people are using and describing the word today. That means that if somebody has an ancient word or term in their culture, we have to keep it within the parameters of what that culture says that it is. It is not our purpose. It is not our privilege. It is not our right to add our new meanings to what people say that their culture was. So a totem, quote unquote, as they call it, which is a mispronunciation, pole or pole of clans, were stories and legends that was displayed of animals and human symbology, which represented the power of the story or the entity, which leads to this popular symbol right here. These popular symbols, because there's not just one, there's thousands of different types. So when people see these were made popular and at first in cowboy and western movies. In actuality, these are stories that you're looking at. Each of these symbols represent a story or a power of the story, and the symbolic animal or person symbology that is a part of the story. And so it is a clan's pole. A totem pole is the pole of a clan or a family, a clan or a family or a tribe, and they have stories pertaining to that tribe, and they tell those stories by putting up a pole with the symbology that anybody from that clan can look at that pole and they can see their story. This is completely different from what New Age metaphysical people say. You must find your totem, and therefore anybody from all over the world now can have a totem, whereas to the indigenous people, totems are your particular clan and family. So they've removed, the modern day people removed the culture from the family blood lineage from the concept, and they just make it all spiritual and fluffy and ambiguous, and then you end up losing the concept of where it actually comes from. So again, this family of the Ojibwe and the Dadawa and the Mississaugas, the Nipissing and the Potawatomi and the Algonquin people created the totems in their areas. And this is not the origin of the fact that a family is tied into a particular animal or symbology. We're going to get into the origins, and of course you know me. I'm going to get into Nile Valley culture and show you the origins of where the totems actually come from, where they were, what they were, and why they're associated with families, how they were associated with families. The concept of it being associated with families actually originates all the way back to this right here. So we're going to look at this right here. And what we're looking at is the Nile Valley kings, Tehutimos 1, Tehutimos 2. This goes back to 1513 BC, and I'm actually going to show their names. These are the unpopular names because the Kemetic or the Nile Valley kings had multiple names, at least 5 of them, 5 sets of them. And one of their names was called a Heru name. So Thutmose' name was also actually Kanak Merimaat. Kanak Meri Ma'at. And you can see what's interesting is that in the original language of the Medu, you'll see that it was not written in the letters that you see today. They're actually written in animal form and symbology form. Spiritual symbolisms, animals, people, and all the images are usually alive, completely different from the language of today. So here are their names. Here is his name in that language. And then we go over to Thutmose 2. And you see the name written again in the language. And you see what looks like to us just images of animals, which is actually their name. Okay, so we go over to Thutmose 3. We see the same. He's actually Tehuti-mose. Okay, we go to Tehuti-mose 4, and we see the same. What's interesting about this is that all of these men and these family, clan, as they call them today, the clan people, and of course they made the word clan into something negative to us. It wasn't originally, when we think of clan, we think of the term Ku Klux Klan, of course. But clan was your family. But you notice what is the similarity between all of these men and their name? They all seem to start with the same name, and that is Tahuti. And they all seem to end with the word mos. So the only thing that changes is the number at the end of the name. So what is a Tahuti and what is a mos? If you look at let me close this. If you look at the screen in the direct center, this is a Tehuti. This is a Tehuti bird. This bird is associated with this family, although this bird is associated with much symbolism that covers the whole Nile Valley, but this particular family chose this bird as their family bird, their family totem, or their clan animal that represents so many things to them and to us today if we understand what this animal actually is, which is called a habu. So this bird is called a Tehuti. We're going to shrink down the page a little bit more. And we're going to see, the computer is going nuts. This is called a habu, or what the Greeks, because Greeks are always mutating words, they say abyss, the clan animal of the Tehuti family. That is that right there. And that's why when you look at the fragment of the wall block inscribed with the birth name of Tehuti-mose 3, now in the Petrie Museum of Egyptian Archaeology, and this is what we mean by ancestral artifacts over religious opinion, we blow this up, this beautiful piece, and we see the Tehuti bird right there. We see the Tehuti bird, and we see over here, we'll close this down a little bit, over here. So this was the origin and example of the clan family animal. And here's where it gets interesting. This is where religion becomes born out of it. Do me a favor, put him in, let him slither in the tank. Yeah. Then the word mos, meaning child of, was added, right? Because they consider themselves the child of the Tehuti, or the child of the Tehuti bird, the child of the habu. Okay, so the creating mos, this was the animal, Tehuti representing the netter of writing, the first lawgiver. So the Tehuti bird represents Tehuti, who is the first lawgiver and the netter of writing. Eventually, this was stolen to create the name Moses, who was what? The first lawgiver to the children of God. No, that's okay. Okay. The first lawgiver to the children of God. So the first lawgiver with the word Mos, which means the child of Tehuti, the son of Tehuti, became the Habu bird and the totem animal to this particular Kemetic family. And then they stole this in modern day, took it to make religion, created a man named Moses from the word Mosh, or from the word Mos, who became the first lawgiver to a group of people called the children of God, or the children of Israel, which just means the power of El. The word Isra means the power of El. And El was another Canaanite god. And all of that information was stolen And that's how modern day religion is born. So the concept eventually became the totem, which was the animal or spirit symbol of nature representing your clan or your family. Okay, so the concept of the question being asked, how do you find, what is a totem? How do you find your totem? Unfortunately, it is actually impossible today to find your family totem, because of the fact that today we cannot even trace our family. First of all, if we trace our family even back to our great 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 grandfather, he was more than likely a slave or a Christian or something that was not ancient or indigenous. Unless you can trace your family back to some indigenous culture that was not interfered with by the European, and have them state what their family totem was, it's almost impossible for anybody today to trace back their clan totem or their family animal symbolism. With that being said, I will also explain that you can have your animal symbolism without having a family connected to it. Which means that, and I believe that the brother asked because I was holding my snake and I have the spider on my hat. This has nothing to do with my actual family symbolism. If I were to trace my family back, my family goes back to Christians and confusion. And prior to that, we don't know where our families actually came from, because we can't find any much trace of their actual spirituality going back to our immediate families, not going back to our ancient ancestors as far as the Nile Valley, but just like your grandfather. Your grandfather more likely was a Christian or something that was influenced by some type of European culture. Now, hold on. Animals have representations regardless of what family or clan you're from. The representations mean the same thing regardless of who your mother was, regardless of who your father was. So that's, for example, my name is Tehuti. One of my symbols is, Nana, pass me the Tahuti bird on there. So sometimes I have the symbolism that I carry with me to different places of the Tahuti bird. I'm going to grab mine and show the Tahuti bird. There we go. Boom. And I've taken this to the Killer Priest podcast. And this is the bird symbolism, which is very important to me because of what it represents. In ancient Kemet, it was called the Kam, which means to dig, and it represented digging for the truth. It also was a word for to make something. They mistranslated it as the word create, but it's actually to make something, and you're making something from the root. The beak represents digging and also represents defense against dangerous snakes. So the Kam bird was very important because the beak also represented the pen and the quill and the ability to write. Thus, it was associated with Tehuti, the netter of writing. Because I was a person who, even in my Islamic days, when I was a Muslim, my name at that time was Kalim Allah. And Kalim was an Arabic word that meant the word. Ever since I was a young man, I was always attracted to words, etymology, origin of words, and I was always attracted to how do words and sounds affect people's psyche from even when I was a child, even when I was a young man. So in growing up and finding out more, I found the particular bird which represented words, and it led to my eventual name that I have today, which is Tehuti. So thus I carry around that totem that symbol as a symbol of writing and consciousness. It is also the oldest word on the planet for spirit. The oldest word on the planet for spirit is actuality ku, which is the same bird. That bird has a lot of different pronunciations. It's called habu, it's called cam. It also is the sound for ku, which is the oldest word for spiritual consciousness found in the Per Haru and throughout the pyramid text, and in even older demonstrations, which I've shown in past classes. I also carry with me live animals, as you see on my hat, which is the spider, which represents weaving, our quantum entanglement, associated with the goddess Neith, the feminine energy that interconnects everything in the subatomic and quantum world that created what is called today string theory. So thus I have that animal symbolism. I carry the snake or the serpent with me. And I've had classes, several classes breaking down what the serpent and the snake originally represented, which was, of course, wisdom and knowledge and the growth and the expansion of your consciousness, which is why the head of the serpent in Kemet was called Nemes, which is what you see on this pharaoh. If we expand, you'll notice something similar about all the pharaohs, and that is they have this on their side of their heads. This is called the Nemes, and it is the cobra head when the cobra is excited and in a defensive thinking state. The head actually expands. So in Kemet, we had symbols of expanded head, expanded knowledge and consciousness, which was the word Nemes. And that's why when you look up Nemes, it's the cloth of the pharaoh head, but it also means light expansion. So their animal was also the serpent. So in Kemet, or in ancient cultures, there wasn't just one animal that was used to represent the tribe. There was many, but there was one particular animal that a family may adhere to because it was important to them over the others. But all throughout their culture and tribe, you'll find symbols of animals all throughout them. So even though Tehuti most is animal symbol is the Habu bird, the Tehuti bird we see on his head is the serpent. So that we're not limited to just one animal. And that's why when you look at a totem pole, you don't just see one animal. So when people say, I'd like to find my totem, I'd like to find my spirit guide or my animal guide, usually when they ask the question, it's always in the singularity. My totem, my spirit guide. When in actuality, the ancient cultures had many different animals that represented stories to them, and they weren't limited to just one. If you want to find an animal that you're connected to, it's actually very easy to do so. Spend, this is my last comments on this, spend a week or two not watching anything but National Geographic's Animal Planet, nature videos. Just watch that for about a week or two. Don't watch anything on Facebook. Don't watch any reels. Don't watch any clips. Don't watch any TV. Just watch animal videos. And by the time that week or so is done, or 2 weeks are done, you will see the nature of how animals behave, represent, how they interact with each other, without the human influence that you may get watching several YouTube channels and different things that are influencing you. You want to watch that without it. You just want to watch the nature videos, at least for a couple hours. I used to watch them for about 6 hours a day. In doing so, you'll see the character of animals that are closest to you, and you just choose your animal. One of my animals is a turtle. It was an ancient animal of Ptah, and it represented the hidden one. But at the time that I chose the animal, I didn't know it had anything to do with Ptah. Ever since I was a 7-year-old boy, I would go out and swim with the turtles. And I caught a turtle. I named him Ted the Turtle. And I would take him out to the pond with me, and he would help me catch other turtles. He was so connected to me that even when I let him go in the pond that I caught him in, he would swim beside me and never swim away from me. And other turtles would come around me because they saw this other turtle trusting me, and we would all swim and walk together. Several years later, maybe 30 years later, I found another pond by where I lived, and I walked down to it, and another turtle just immediately came up on the shore, in the water, off the shore, and just walked up to me, and I picked him up and took him home. So I was connected to turtles for that reason, and that became an animal that I was connected with, and I studied turtles ever since then for several decades, and they have a lot of representation to me. And then I found that they were ancient spiritual symbols that represented the hidden one and Ptah in Kemet, and throughout other cultures too. So to answer the question, watch animal videos. Don't watch anything else for about a week unless you have to, and then become totally in tune, fall asleep to it, watch it, study them, and you'll see the animal that is most attractive to you, and that will become the animal that you can study, and then see how far back it goes. If it's the jaguar, study everything about the jaguar and cultures that study the jaguar. If it is the turtle, if it's the snake, if it's an eagle, if it's a flamingo, whatever it is that you may be attracted to, its behavior that is in sync with how you are, study all the cultures and what they said about it, and then that becomes your animal that you're connected with. And you can study several, because I have several animals that I'm connected with that I actually live with here in my home. So peace and shout out, love to you, Manifesto, for that awesome question. And I hope I helped give you the answer, and I hope you are here in the room. I don't even know if you're here in the room, but shout out to you, and shout out to the question. Welcome to the Tehuti Podclass, where you can where you can come and ask questions and get answers based on historical facts and information that you can take and go research. Your question will not be insulted. It will not be mocked. It will be entertained with facts and information that you can go research that existed before I was born. So let's check out the room and see if everybody heard the answer, and let's see if Manifesto is even in here. Orcas work and pods. Okay, that's Kamit. Let's see who heard the answer and what they say. We have there's a lot of people. Loving the lesson. We'll start from Ashley says, loving the lesson. Doesn't the Tehuti ibis bird eat the clams that contain the bodies of their nearby natives? Yes, they do. They will eat up any small animal they can grab. They'll eat up lizards, clams, fish, snakes. Absolutely, they will. Yeah, shout out to let's see. Lola says, great information. Azim says, I'm connected to birds. Beautiful. As you study these animals, look behind me. You see behind me, there's the birds. Kemet made sure that you could not read or write without understanding the attribute of the animal. Without understanding the attribute of the animal world, you weren't even allowed to read or write in ancient Nile Valley. That's how important animals were to us as a culture. We got spider signs up from Lola. We got piranhas up. I that's what I had too. I had a piranha. I'm a piranha. Yeah, we had animal piranhas. I had a piranha too. It unfortunately ate my cat's tongue. That's another story. I've been through a lot. We got Tehuti is the true teacher. Thank you. I'm not even familiar with his name, nor do I know how to say it, but thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, good. Let's get to the next questions. I don't see a Manifesto in the room, but it seems like everybody else appreciated the answer. So let's continue on, everybody. I'm going to take a couple-minute break. Right, there it is. Totem, not totem. Exactly. That's how we started the class. Totem, not totem. Exactly. All right, so let's see here. So I'm going to take a couple-minute break, and then we're going to get into the next question. I'm going to tease you all with what the question is. I'm going to take a peek at it and see. There's some good questions. Is Apothecary in the house? Apothecary, is he here? He has a question coming up too. The Sentinel The Sentinel Islanders. I hope I can actually play this because my computer is so slow. It's playing videos very slow. But somebody asked me about the Sentinel Islanders. That question is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. If I can answer it, I hope I can. But in the meantime, you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to take a 2-minute break. And of course, when I take my break, I'm going to put on my favorite Bible cartoons. Now, let's see if these can even play. Because, again, like I said, my computer is slow and videos and music are slow. So I'm going to see if it will play. If not, I'm going to have to get maybe a hottie to come up front or Kamit to come up front and hold it down for a moment until I come back. This computer is super duper slow tonight. Let me go ahead and put this and see what comes up. I gotta put on my Bible cartoons. I hope it plays. I really do. Okay, let's check out the room while that's pulling up. Let's check out who's in the room. Shout out to everybody in the room. We got 84 people. Here's one of my favorite names because it rhymes. Horizon of Zion. Sounds like a Bob Marley song. I like the name. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, good. And yeah, I know the footage is lagging. All kind of slow stuff happening tonight. Okay, got books. Email Tehuti for your inquiry. That is Nani Aset Mer, one of the moderators in the house. And follow that message. Okay, let me see if my thing pulled up. Oh, this is not. This is... Okay, let me try it again. This computer is super duper. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and test play this and see if it even plays while I take this break because it is super duper slow. Okay. Let's see. Maybe VLC will play better. It is super duper slow. Look at this. I'm only going to be gone for about 3 minutes at any rate. Let's see. It may not even play. Let's see here. Hey, Kamit, are you by your computer yet? Are you able to... Oh, look at this. Nope. Nope. My computer's too slow to play video. Okay, that's too bad because my Islander question was actually... A lot of it was on video. All the way from Trinidad. All the way from Trinidad is in the house. Mary Bontas. And coming from Bag Chaser, the best channel. I be on Sonnetter shouting you out. Thank you, Bag Chaser. Shout me out. Much respect. Okay, I can't play a video, so who is in the room? Oh, Jody. Jody's another dedicated one who sends in questions, who's come to every Podclass since I've ever had one. Welcome, Jody. Peace and love to you. Bless up to the channel called the Galaxers channel. Bless up to you. Okay, where's the Hati Mahata? Hati Mahata, are you in the room? Are you in the room, my brother? I can't play any video, so I gotta call you up front for a second. And there's Brian Wallace. Brian Wallace. Shout out to Brian Wallace, who just recently got one or two of my books, my PDFs. Shout out to Brian Wallace. And who's this? The Awakening. Shout out to the these names, the Slackens. Shout out to you. These names are, I don't know if they're different languages, but shout out to you. All right. Okay, good. All right. Robert, are you in the room, brother? I don't see a Hati. One moment, please. Oh, yeah. AJ, are you in the room? AJ, are you in the room? Hati, I'm gonna put the link in the room. Come up front for just a moment. Hold it down for about 3 minutes. I'm gonna put the link in the room. Kamit works in the lab. Oh, thank you. Robert Williams, are you there? Would you like to come up front and say something about the class? I'm putting the link in the room. Come up front. You have anybody has 3 minutes to speak. Kamit, what does Kamit say? Kamit says, I work in a lab around a lot of Tamahu. Cannot come on today, but I'm watching. That's why Kamit is so rich. He owns the lab. He doesn't work in the lab. He owns the lab. I bet he owns that lab. All right. Okay, Hati, there is the link. If you can jump on for a minute, jump on. If anybody has a question who has supported, you can jump on and hold it down for about 3 minutes. I got to take a little break for just a moment, and then I'm going to come back and answer some questions. Okay, who's Tehuti? Oh, 1 minute setting up the camera. I can't come in, says Robert Williams. This is the best chat room, but it's definitely the shyest. It is definitely the shyest chat room, but we have the best people in here. But nobody ever wants to come up front and show themselves. No problem. We got a Hati Ma'at. Jump on a Hati Ma'at if you can. I just got to step away for a minute, and we're going to get the numbers back up, and I'm going to answer the question. I know him as Bridge of Raw, but what's his other name? You guys have so many names in here. Not a lucky shot. Something trading. Is Bridge of Raw in the house? Bridge of Raw, are you in the house, my brother? Bridge of Raw, are you in the house? Nania Set Mur says you can't go anywhere and get this concise info. I agree. Somebody also sent me a question on Walter Williams. I see a lot of questions in there. Okay. I need to step away for just a moment. I put the link to the chat, to the screen in the room. Shy members, jump on. Don't worry. How about where's Nets are the greatest. You need to jump on, my brother. You are the most dedicated. Nets are the greatest. Are you on here? Jump on. Jump on the screen. Let me meet you. Here's a Hati Ma'at who has jumped on, the only non-shy member of the Tehuti Podclass. Let me add him to the screen. There he is. A Hati Ma'at. My light-skinned twin.
Here it is.
Muscles bulging out. Shoulders popping out. He looks like the young Kevin Levrone.
Wow. I appreciate that.
Okay, you're welcome. I'm gonna actually put this on mute because on my computer you're gonna come out lagging. So I'm gonna take a break right now. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna put myself on mute, not you. I'm put myself on mute and go ahead and talk, Ahati, for a moment. Hold it down. I will be back. Peace.
I'm showing my stuff here. Okay, hold on. Wasn't prepared for this. We're gonna make it happen. Peace to everybody in the room. I don't know if you can see me. I'm kind of cut off because my camera's. Can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, press a 1. I don't know why it's set up like that now. Is this working? Oh, okay. Nat Turner, the faithful Nat Turner. How's the plantation, brother? Did you take them all out yet? I gotta watch what I say, because YouTube might take that the wrong way. And I'll get a knock on my door. I don't know why my camera... See, this is annoying me, because usually my camera sets right up. But this... I don't care. You can see behind me fine. You just see the pull-up bar. Okay, so everybody, thank you for coming out to Tehuti Podclass. We're always grateful to have you here. It shows that you guys are really into the knowledge. And I've actually spoken to some of you outside of here, so it's been a real enjoyment. And yes, and to touch on what this brother said right here, Nathaniel Turner. Yes, there's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work to be done. And a lot of it starts in the mind, of course. A lot of it. Right now, I would say most of it starts in the mind. For us brothers, at least, and not to discount the sisters, because it's about you, of course. But for us brothers, it is a lot of work. I take this lifestyle very seriously. I do love to smile and laugh, as you could tell, or if you've watched my past videos. But when it comes to Kemet, and for us to eventually break out of this matrix that we're in, it has to be a lot of serious work. And the entertainment part of Kemet is fun. It's definitely the jewelry that the sisters wear that's beautiful and enticing. But what we have to understand is there's a spell going on, and Tahuti just pointed that out with the totems, which most people are calling totems. That there's a spell going on constantly, 24/7, 7 days a week. There's a spell going on, and it's so thorough that it's happening within our minds, even my mind. And the spell is that the words that we speak and the meanings that we think are true, that come from the definition of these words, isn't true. If you notice, there's a pattern with this podcast where the teacher takes us back always to the origin of things, because that's really the only way that we can understand and know what's truth, ma'at, and what's isfet, or not true, or chaos. Because without the truth, in my personal experience, life becomes chaotic, because you're not sure where to go. And there's people people in this I guess conscious community, you can call it, that claim that we come from native origins. Now, were there blacks that are now known as Native Americans? Yes, absolutely. Was their origins, did they predate Kemet? In my research, no. And again, Tahuti just showed us that, taking it back to Tahutimos. So my point is this: not knowing that, something as and there's just thousands of different topics we can go on, but just that one topic, not knowing that, could have ramifications on your own personal life, because you could totally think that something is one way when in reality it's not. Just like for me, and I'm going to take this to something that we all could probably benefit from, since I actually want to see Kemet 101 one day, but he's working, which is fine. But I would like to see the brother one day. But for me, growing up and for most of my life, I figured that money, you need money. You constantly need to have money. Money is how we get things. Money makes me feel good. And then you get a little bit more understanding, and you realize that money isn't the way to spirituality, but at the same time, you can't break that spell. from my research, those that created this money did not have, if you're somebody that claims to be black or African or from any type of descent like that, our ancestors never worked with money. Yes, we need money today to move around, to be safe, right? But the point that I'm making is that the money is not what's generating or attracting the things that you want in your life. And the reason why I'm speaking on this because I was asked this recently by someone. So it took me a long time to realize that. I even used to build altars and put money on the altar and have the money candles. You see these in stores. A lot of Mexican Jews, the money candles out here. And it's not the money, because that energy was generated by the colonizers, by the Europeans. It wasn't generated by our ancestors, by the entities that we're trying to communicate with now. So I no longer use money. I use different utterances, or I use different things like candles. I use different things, food, favorite foods. I use things that our ancestors could use or did use while they were still in the physical form. So one thing that I learned from the master teacher, or Saba, from Tehuti, was that you can have what you want, but you're going to have to always go back to what is your original intent, which takes us back to the origins. What is your original intent for what you really want? So what do I mean by that? What I mean is that for me, for instance, what I wanted most of my life was to have knowledge, and knowledge to discern between truth and fiction. And I couldn't get that when I was in the Hebrew Israelites. I couldn't get that prior to that when I was in Christianity. So no one ever taught me before that, well, in order for you to figure out or find out what is really true, you have to go back to your origins. And this coincides or connects with the ancestors. And that's one of the things that Kemet was all about, was reconnecting with our ancestry. And they even have things, Tamahu has things today that, the digitized version, the matrix version called Ancestry.com, and you can look all this stuff up. But what I'm talking about is a 24/7 connection to the power that Tahuti used, that Ma'at used, that Osset used. Osset is Isis for new people, and Nebhet, and on and on and on. That these physical beings at one time used, you can use now. And I remember I used to talk to Saba, because in Christianity it always tells you to pray, or grab the power from outside of you, from somewhere else. And it took me a while to break out of that. I remember that Tehuti would tell me, I am my ancestors. I am my ancestors. I live through them. And you hear other people in the conscious community say that too. But what I was taught and what I soon experienced was that the more that we take it back to the origins of who we are as a people, it's eventually your brain's going to build a pattern, and you're basically going to have to assimilate to whatever you think about most, and you will eventually become your ancestors. So the things that you're trying to attract in your life, eventually they'll come to you. Eventually. And for me, one of those keys was to have patience. And I can't have patience if I'm living in fear. But see, since you have knowledge and you're learning from somebody that has extreme knowledge, I guess is a word you could use, the patience eventually comes automatically. So when you have knowledge of something, you usually don't have to fear it, because now you can make a decision on which direction you want to go in your life. And that's the key. We're not taught. I'm from the United States. This is for people that may watch this that are in other countries. I'm from the United States. The United States is one of the most evilest countries on the planet. I would say it is the most evil country on the planet for other reasons. If you want to know why, just go to my BitChute channel. But I'm gonna tell you this. Is that how I was taught and how most of us were taught growing up is that you have to have money to get what you want. Money gets you the girls, it gets you the home you want, it gets you everything. And I'm telling you now, that's not how it works. Not for us at least. Maybe for Europeans it works that way, but not for us. And that's why you see so much disparity. What looks like financial disparity and all that, but it's the spiritual problem with us. I didn't understand that either when I first came to Tahuti. I didn't understand that either. Tehuti didn't tell you this, and I'll tell you this really quickly. I actually had, when he met me, or while, I don't know, did I start it before? I believe I started when I met him. I started a nationalist organization with a few brothers and sisters, and it was growing. And we had T-shirts, we had everything, and but it lacked the spirituality part. And I began to reflect on the Black Panthers and on the Weather Underground and all these different groups. And the thing that they lacked was the spiritual aspect, and those groups are no longer around. But see, even though Kemet is not the physical part, really, the people is not around, the spiritual aspect, in my this is my opinion, will never be destroyed. And so far it hasn't, because it's tens of thousands of years later, and I'm still talking about it. So, and I didn't understand that when I first met Tahuti. I thought that we could just do, and here's one last thing before I go. That's very important. When I first came in here, I was one of these brothers that was in the Black power. I no longer believe that we have power collectively as Blacks, maybe individually, but collectively, until I met Tahuti. And he taught me our true power, which was through Kemet, because Kemet had a military, it had agriculture, it had an educational system, and most important, it had Ma'at, had a foundation. And so I'll just leave it with this. In order to enact change, if that's what you want in your life, you have to have a foundation. That's the only way, just like a house. You have to have a foundation. And in order to have that, you have to have the right teachings. You have to have the right teacher. I do not believe in people saying I'm self-taught. By who? Because eventually it's going to go back to the Tamahu. But yes, the foundation is in Ma'at. It's with the teacher that's following Ma'at. That's very important, and lives it and shows you examples of it. And then you will get what you want. I'll leave it with that. Peace. And Kamit, I do want to meet you, man. I want to at least see you on screen once, even if it's for a shout out.
Am I
And
unmuted?
muted.
Press one if you can.
Yeah, no, you're.
Press one if you can hear me. Press one. I'm trying. Okay. Thank you. Awesome, Mahati. Thank you again. You are always willing to come up. You always have positive words to say. You are you're an amazing student. You are a disciplined, dedicated brother. You are a good protector. You're all those things. Very diligent in what you do, and you know what you do. Not a lot of others know what you do, but you're very diligent, and you are 100% loyal. You're a very good representation of a person that follows Ma'at, who's loyal to the tribe. So I wanted to say that to the brother Ahati. He is the reason why I am public. I was private, and then I went public because Ahati continued to coerce me. Don't say anything yet, Ahati, because I have it on my sound is going to alter what you're saying. So I have to put myself on mute before you can talk. Yeah, this brother coerced me and continuously told me that I need to come public with my teaching. So this is the brother, ladies and gentlemen, you see before you, who is the reason why you all are getting to see me in this Podclass forum. Before him, I went private for a long period of time, and I was only teaching him and a few others personally. So shout out to brother Ahati. We're gonna move on to the next. Hold on, Ahati. I'm gonna put you. I'm actually gonna one. Let me get back to the screen so I can see you. Oh, my screen is black. I'm gonna mute it, and then Ahati can say one last thing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and answer one of the donations that came in. Go ahead, Ahati. Do you have anything? One last thing to say before I
Oh
go
yeah,
into the
I just
into
want
the
to address one. I want to address one person because I believe this is a big topic and it might still cause confusion. So really quick, this goes out to Ribontus. Ribontus. Are one of his parents white? Well, yes. My mother was Caucasian. She was Irish. My father was from West Africa, from an island called Cape Verde. Um, this causes a lot of confusion because when you get down to the scientific level, it caused a lot of confusion in my life too for many, many decades. And I know it causes confusion with people that are calling themselves mixed, mulatto, and all this other. I call it junk today because it is junk information. Scientifically, there's only two genomes. There's a recessive and dominant gene. The recessive is Caucasian. The dominant is African. When the two mix, the dominant absorbs, and the recessive is gone. So this is where they use the one blood rule on the plantations, and a lot of people that are calling themselves mixed and all this different stuff. There's only two races. There's us and the Europeans. That's it. So I hope that clears up some confusion. And for anybody out there that's on the fence on, well, I can't talk about the Tamahus because my mother and my father's a Tamahu. It just comes down to science, what's reality. It just always comes down to truth. And so, anyways, you guys are the best chat room, and I'm gonna go. Peace. Good.
okay, okay. Thank you, Ahati.
Okay.
Peace and love. Yes,
Peace.
sir. Peace. Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Tehuti Podclass. We're gonna look at the next question sent in, and there is a backup question from before. Press 1 if you can hear me, everybody. Press 1 if you can hear me. Let's go to the next recent question that was sent in, and let's see what it is. This is from who is this here? This is this 777? I like the amount sent. Awesome. 777. Oh, hold on. I got to delete something here to get your super chat sent up. Here we go. Delete that. I'm gonna go to this. Delete that. And oh no, that's delete that. Is Apothecary here? Okay, here we go. That's Apothecary. He actually has a question coming up. My computer is okay. 777. This is who is this? Is this Netter the Greatest? Let me see. Let me click on this. And the next question sent in is Netter Unk Hotep L, who says Netter Unk Hotep L for Do a magic trick for the Podclass. Do a shout out to Netter Unk Hotep L with the random. See, this only on the 2D Podclass. What a random thing, Do a yeah, it says do a magic trick for the Podclass. Yeah, that's great, man. Let me get off. Shout out to you. Are you in the room? What a random. Only here. You can. Only here. Let me check the comments and see if he's in the room here. Shout out to you, my brother. Let me look and see if he's in the room. Do a magic trick for the Podclass. Who is that? Is that Netter the Greatest? Are you in here, my brother? We got somebody said Ninti said what is this? The Egyptian magicians were world renowned. Yes, that's right. Are you here, brother? Right here. Okay. Randomly asking me to do some magic for the Podclass. Okay. I guess. No, I'm good. I'm gonna use this. This is what I was doing. I was eating my meal while Ati was on doing the break. So I'm gonna go ahead and maybe do something with this. I eat some rice, chicken, and 1 egg. Every day I eat the same meal at the exact same time. Half a cup of rice, 4 ounces of chicken, and 1 super omega egg, and that's what I eat here with this here. I don't know. Let me see. Netter the Great. Give me type a word into the chat. And I'm gonna write it on something here, so we can know that we're just gonna use one thing. I'm gonna do this kind of maybe quick. Type a word into the chat. Just type something into the chat, and I'm gonna write that word down. And just type a word, any word. You'll see. Type in a word. There's a word. I've been waiting for that. Type in a word. Let me get let's see. Type in what is this? What word? Oh, Hotep. Okay. Hotep. Okay. Wonderful. I'm gonna go ahead and write. I'm gonna write Netter the Greatest. I'm gonna put Netter here. I don't even know if you can see it on the screen. Netter, and then Hotep. Awesome, Hotep. If you see a black marker anywhere, pass me that. I don't know if this will. I don't know. A real marker, not the one that I'm trying to avoid. The white people. Think if this gets on. What did I say? Netter Hotep. Can you guys see that? Netter Hotep. Can you see that? I don't know. Okay, let's try this. We'll do a little something here. I don't know. Maybe we can go like this. Netter Hotep. So I was just eating my meal here. And maybe do a little entertainment for the Podclass. Eat my meal here. And we'll try this little thing right here. I do this. This is an interesting thing I used to do here. You hold the spoon like that. I don't know if the computer can even see this, but you kind of hold the spoon like this. And then if you keep going this, do you see it kind of moving downwards like that? Is this getting in the screen? And it kind of like keeps going and bending a little bit, just a little bit. I'm not sure if it'll do it properly, but we just put a little thing. This is a little tiny thing like that. It's kind of tiny. I'm not sure. There's a computer. Maybe it's not even catching it. I don't know if it's catching it. But I eat my meal every day with the spoons. But this is cute here. This is interesting because you can actually rub this part of the spoon there and see that. That's kind of smooth. But this part here is bent, and it's the Netter. It says Hotep. That's the word he chose. Awesome. I'm gonna try something else and see if this works. I'm actually gonna hold the spoon like this. And if I go like this, you can actually see the middle. Do you see the middle kind of starting to twist a little bit there? Just a little bit. Kind of twist just a little bit. Right where my finger is. Do you see how the middle of the spoon now is kind of twisted? That's awesome, right? So we got the back of it kind of bent, and then right in front of you. Remember I rubbed that part? It was smooth, but now it's kind of like a 180 degree kind of twist right there. This little cute thing that I try to do. I don't know, but that's an example. I used to do this. I do this when it wasn't COVID. I will go out and do this for a living. This is a solid a solid spoon too. It's what I used to eat my meals every day around 8:30 to 9 o'clock. I eat the meals there. So that's a little something that I do. It's not really much of anything, but it's a little something that I do. I'm trying to. I don't know if I can unbend it. Maybe I can unbend it. Is the bend still there? The bend is there. I don't know if I can unbend it in front of you guys. I'm gonna try to see if I can do that. It's kind of solid. I'll hit it. The bend is still there. That is still the same spoon. It says Netter, his name on it, and then it has the Hotep there. You know something I used to always try to do that was interesting is you can't really bend the spoon using muscle. So what I try to do is I try to kind of blow on it and do it with my breath. Let's see if that'll work. So I go like this, right? Kind of hold the spoon like that, and I go like this, kind of blow on it, and you see it kind of just pops off. It's kind of weird, right? So I don't know. The other part just kind of, you kind of just blow it off. All right. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is some Tehuti magic. Let me get the other piece. It kind of just disappeared and popped off, and there is the other piece right there, and it just kind of blew off. All right, there it is. A little bit of magic for you. Wonderful. Okay, thank you for that super chat. Thank you for that. That was awesome. And we'll move on to the next. All right, that was Netzer the Greatest asked me out of the random blue do some magic. So I just did it with I guess the food that I eat with, and the I guess what's left of the spoon. I guess right there, yeah. Okay, wonderful. It was a cool spoon. Now it's a souvenir that I can give out to somebody. All right, boom. All right. On to the next question. Thank you, Netzer the Greatest, for that. That kind of brought back memories of when I used to do magic back in the days. I used to do things like that. Okay, so hold on a second, everybody. 1 second. Let me just wipe this off. Okay. Am I back? Okay, I am back.
That's a strong breath.
I know, I got some strong breath. Yeah, so that's just some of the things I used to do. You can also do it with a fork. You can do it's a bunch of different things that you can do. You can actually hold the fork up like this. Okay, you guys can see that. Oh man, see it's backwards how I'm doing it. But if you go like this, you can actually make the one of the tongs kind of come up like that. It just kind of comes up. I used to have fun with this. I used to go down to the pier, and I used to walk through Canada and do a bunch of things like this. And I don't know if I don't even know if the screen is kind of catching it, but I used to do a bunch of things like this. I did it on Kill the Priest, and he kind of liked it. You hold this fork up like this. See, I don't even know if I can hold it right. Where you hold like this, where you can actually see that one of them is up, and you kind of see the four are down. And all you do is you got to grab this end like this. You grab it, and you blow on it. You go like this. You go 1, 2, 3, and then you see how all four of them kind of open. You see, that's kind of weird, but anyways, that's what I used to do when I used to do magic. All right, let's get on to the next. Boom. What's the next here? Boom. Who is next? That was fun. Good old memories. All right. What's this? Okay, we got somebody who wants to be anonymous. No problem. This is wonderful. Let's get it on. Boom. Hey, thanks for bringing back memories, man. I haven't done magic in years. They closed down all the public places since COVID. All right, for performers. All right. What's this now? This is put this as 2. Boom. And sorry, this person wants to be anonymous. Let me do that again. This person wants to be anonymous. So let me get that name out of there. Oh, the name is persisting to be. Okay, here we go. Boom, I don't see any name now. Okay, here we go. I'll go ahead and save that. Glad you guys enjoyed that. That's just, I guess that's something I can do spontaneously in the middle of a class. I do have magic videos all over the internet. But let me, okay. Boom, 2. We're gonna go ahead and save that, and Here we go. Arcad says, fantastic. Fantastic. KP Podcraft, work with, I don't know what that says. KP Podcast, week without you. Okay. Okay. Unky Mod says, wow. Scribe has eyes open. Yeah, a little fun there. That's the variety of what can be done on the Tehuti Podclass. You never know. You get any questions from the Anunnaki to religion to Chris Angel style. But let's go on to the next. Glad you guys like that. So the next one is, and I'm waiting to see if Trader is still in here. He sent a question about Ethiopia in the Bible. This is a donation from someone who wants to be anonymous, and I think I cut out the name. Boom. Support. Love the class. Anonymous, please. Thank you, Anonymous. I know who you are, and you are an avid supporter. You are always supporting, and I appreciate all of the support that you do, and I appreciate you. Okay, I'm back on the screen. Okay, let me go to the chat and see. We got the next question coming up. Next question. This one is not just a donation. This one was a question. And let me go back and see. My chat disappeared. This computer is going haywire today. Let's see. My chat room disappeared on me. There you are. Oh, I'm going to wait for it to come back. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Chat room is back. All right. Unky Mayat says, wow. And, okay. All right. Is that Senetia Moon? I don't know if my eyes are going blurry. Oh, Senetia Moon put up the hats. My eyes are. Okay, thank you, Senetia Moon. Thank you, everybody. Let's get on. Nania Setmer says, what was the question? Okay, lucky shot. All right, let's go and get into the next one that was sent out. The chat room is building up. The audience is building up. Let's go on to the next question. And this one is from, interesting. This question is the trader, what's his name? So I know him as Bridge of Ra, but it's what was that name? Apu Katheri? I can never say his name. Oh my goodness. Apocatheri. Is Apocatheri in the house? Because you have a question about Ethiopia in the Bible that we're going to get to. I want to make sure. I like it when the people are in the room that ask the question so I can see their response when as I'm answering it, and they may want to throw in a secondary comment. So is Apocatheri in the house? Are you in the house, Apocatheri? If not, I'm going to wait for you. We're going to move on. Let's go on to the next one. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. We got another hour or so left. I want to knock a couple of these out. Why is this computer just... Oh my. Be patient with me, everybody. The computer is alive. The computer is alive, doing its own thing. And I'm trying to get it back on the screen. This is crazy. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. We're trying to get to the next question here. And it's going haywire. Here we go. Okay, pod class question sent in. Okay, here we go. Pod class info. Click on that. And let's see. Oh my goodness. Okay, it was on the Sentinel Islanders, but due to the video issue that I'm having, I can't answer the question on that because it's not going to play the video there's too much lag. I really want to get into them too, and I have some funny videos, some interesting videos to play on those people. But today the computer is super strange, not playing, so we're gonna have to skip that one and maybe get to it next week when I fix the computer, or maybe later tonight if I can troubleshoot and get the videos to play normally. So we're gonna go past that one. Question was asked about. Here's a question sent in here. Let me put this on the screen. Here we go. This question is from. Thank you, 97 Merpa Tehuti the Great. Thank you. Next question in. This is an interesting one. And let's see. It's a question about Akhet Hotep. Akhet Hotep. Let me go ahead and put this in the room here. And a shout out to the one who sent the support. And so far, nobody's that's only one person who's asked a question has been in the room. I like it when you guys are in the room. Have you seen Apocathera yet?
No.
He may be asleep. I think he's in Canada. He may be. Oh, that's the one. Okay, hold on. Yes, is somebody reminded me that a question was sent in on Dejavu and ear ringing. I remember that. Yes, and I couldn't get to it. A lucky shot, of course. I'm gonna go ahead and. But let me see if this person here is in the room, because this is actually the next one from last time, and let me go ahead and see if they're in the room. So Nito Campbell, are you in the room, Nito Campbell? Nito Campbell sent a question, and that is, who is Akhet Hotep? Shout out to Nito Campbell for your support, and shout out for the question. As you can see, we get the most random questions here on the Tahuti Podclass that I had to be prepared to answer either the week they're asked live or the next one. It doesn't matter if it's totem poles, if it's a magic trick, if it's Akhet Hotep. I have to be ready. I have to be sharp. And now we have a question here on Akhet Hotep. So are you in the room, my brother, who asked the question about Akhet Hotep? If not, I can either... let me see. All right, let me check the chat room. That's Nito Campbell. Is Nito Campbell in the room? Nito Campbell in the room. Never seen a Mac glitch run slow or get a... I never seen a MacBook run slow or get a glitch. That's true. I've never seen anybody with a MacBook have these kind of problems. Okay, maybe I get a MacBook. You guys send in donations so I can get a MacBook. I guess I never had a MacBook. Okay, so I don't see the brother in the room. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk to a lucky shot. A lucky shot sent in. I don't have his screen. But Lucky Shot sent in a question about Dejavu, the ringing in the ear. The ringing in the ear, I'm not going to touch upon that right now, because there is too many possibilities of what the ringing in the ear could be, and nobody's actually pinpointed, because there are different people that have ringings caused by different things. So one person may have a ringing caused by them picking up ELF frequencies. Some person may hear. There's many different reasons, and I've heard a lot of different invented answers, and I don't want to give any of those. So I'm not going to really touch upon the ringing, because I don't know what ringing the person is actually hearing. But we will get into one second here. And thank you for reminding me, that Nania Set Mer reminded me of that. And and I didn't have that saved, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let me get some water. One second, everyone, please. Just gonna pull up something. I like to put things on the screen. Shout out to a lucky shot. And one moment. This computer's a little slow, but we can do this. We can do it. Okay, here we go. I'll go ahead and answer this. Answer one of the possibilities. I also want to say that my answer is one of the possibilities, because there actually is different reasons why this phenomenon takes place. And I want to go ahead and one moment. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, here we go. Boom. This computer is going crazy. But don't worry, Kamit, I have everything backed up. So even if this computer explodes, I have everything backed up, my brother. I know Kamit does not want me to lose any information. He actually wants all my hard drives. Okay, let's get into it. If this computer will just please. Okay, here we go. Okay, so a lot of people have what's unfortunately been labeled under a French term called a deja vu. This is a French term, right? And it's the feeling of already existing and already experiencing something or a situation that you feel you've experienced more than once. So you are in a situation, and then you say, "Oh, I have felt like I've done this before." Okay. Unfortunately, deja vu is just a word that only covers one of the senses. So deja vu is. Let me get a mic check too before I continue. Let me make sure, because it was just a little glitch. Let me get a mic check. Mic 1. Mic check if I can be heard. Mic 1. Mic check if I can be heard. Mic 1. Mic check. Mic 1. Mic check. Press 1 if you can hear me, everybody. Beautiful. Everybody can hear me. We got Nat Turner. We got Jody. We got Ashley Too Crafty. We got Ahati, Sanitia Moon, Kamit. We got Chandler. That's about everybody. Everybody can hear. Okay. So the deja vu only covers one of the senses. And unfortunately, they don't have a word that covers the total experience. So people say deja vu is the feeling of experiencing something that you've experienced before. But deja vu, literally the word deja vu just means something that's already seen. That's literally what it means. So there is also in the French deja entendu, and that's something that's already heard. And you can basically take the deja and put it in front of any multiple word that covers the sense that you have experienced. When you have a deja vu, it actually is affecting multiple senses, not just what you've seen. And there's a reason for this. So let's go over a couple things. Let's oh, my eyes. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do a screen share, and we're gonna talk about one of my favorite topics that I like to talk about, and that is echoed situts, or the echoed body. I'm gonna let my computer pull up one of my screens from class. Here we go, and then I'll do a screen share, and we'll talk about this we'll talk about this here. Okay, let me see if I can go get the screen share. StreamYard. Here we go. Screen share. Okay. Thank you, Anki Mayat, who says this is a great podcast. Great questions. Thank you. All right, so I'm trying to do a screen share right now. A little bit of lag, so be patient. A little bit of lag, so be patient. All right, here we go. Okay, it's coming up. It's coming up. And here we are. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the expanded energetic body. Okay. The expanded energetic body aspect occurs when the physical body falls asleep or enters a trance state. The substance of the pure energetic body aspect of the etheric body becomes energetically excited and begins to expand outwards. This allows the pure energetic aspects of the etheric body to function independently from the physical body without disturbing it while it sleeps. Holding the mind awake during the trance state creates a wide range of energetic conflicts. These conflicts can cause some very peculiar sensations, such as the feeling of expansion, often perceived as a sensation of shrinking or falling inwards. The degree of the etheric body expansion possibly depends greatly on the level of sleep or trance attained. And when we look at this is a page out of this is actually Astrodynamics, Robert Bruce. And what takes place when you fall asleep each night is what is called a mind split and an echoed etheric body. The first part of the body, that is the physical body, in Kemet, that is the Khat. And then you have what is called the Ka, which is a double body or a bioenergetic template. This is the part of the body, the conscious body, that stays near the body. It doesn't really move very far from the body. It keeps the body's consciousness alert, while the Ba, which is the etheric double, has the ability to echo itself out of the body. And you have what's called a real-time split or real-time body that goes into the real-time zone. The reason why the astral projections call this the real-time zone is because that realm is the doubled realm, and here's where the importance of one of the possibilities of deja vu comes in. That realm is the doubled realm of everything in this physical world. This physical world, everything has an energetic double, which can be seen through the astral eye or astral sight. And as you walk around your room outside of your body, you can still see everything that is in your room. Similar to how this picture here depicts the energetic body expanding and echoing itself out of the body, while the other bodies actually stay behind, and each body is echoing a new energetic body, while the physical body, called the Khat, stays behind. This is why in Kemet, and why in the Per Imheru, the word for making a copy or an image is the same word for spiritually walking, which is setut, from the word tut, which is to echo, the same word for a statue or something that is fashioned to symbolize something else. It just means to make a copy of something. This is found on page 628 of the hieroglyphic dictionary. Let me see if I can shrink this down. But this interesting word, satut, which is a copy, is the same word found on plate 1, page 4 of the Book of the Dead, per Amharu, the oldest known set of spiritual books, because the Book of the Dead, per Amharu, is not one book. It is several. Individuals had their own. So if we look at the bottom, go down to the bottom, here's interesting here. Here's the word Tehuti here, and there's that bird that I just taught about. The word for Tehuti is literally that bird, the cam bird, or the aku bird. And now, when we go down here, it says, Ta'ef ma'a aten tekek a'in abu ra, which is, may he grant the view of the disk of the sight of the moon, or of which is Tehuti again, without ever ceasing every day, and coming forth of my soul. So the soul is coming forth, as I shown in the pictures, in the images there, when they echo, they're coming forth. But how are they coming forth? They're coming forth as echoes. So the Book of the Dead, the Purim Haru, the Kemetic Nile Valley teachings are the first teachings on the planet Earth that acknowledge a bioenergetic echo, a pure energetic double, called the Satut, which is something that's walking. But the spirit is the one that's walking. See what it says here, coming forth of my soul. So the Ba, which is the one doing the walking, it's moving. The way that it's moving, it's not just walking with 2 feet, it's echoing itself. It's doing a satut 2, and that's how it is moving, which is echoing itself. And that's why when you look at the word satut, it means to make a copy that is an echo. So when you see in the books of astral traveling books, the depiction of the body leaving is not just it's walking out, it's actually having an echo. So as you can see over here. Okay, so now that we've established that and we understand that the bioenergetic body can echo out, and when it echoes out, it goes into the real time zone, which is a doubled realm of the realm that we're in right now. Your spiritual body each night can have an experience, and it can travel, and it can experience things during its travel, which means that you could leave your body, it can echo out of your body, because you never really leave. It's always connected. It's just making echoes, and that one makes an echo, and that one makes an echo, and they keep on moving about through these echoes. Each one gets more refined, and each one can tap into a more refined spiritual state that the last one couldn't. Once they're in that state, then they can begin to move around on that plane of existence. So you end up downtown, and you're walking around, and you walk by a flower shop, and you see the flower shop. Something about it grabs your attention while you're having an out-of-body experience, and you remember that experience. And then what happens is your body reintegrates, your energetic double reintegrates back into the body. And when it reintegrates back into the body, the memory of that experience can reintegrate back into the mind, because the mind is no longer doing a mind split. It's reintegrated, and that becomes a memory of an experience that you've actually had. And then what happens is, and projectors experience this all the time. Let me go ahead and back to the screen so I can see you guys. So then out-of-body projectors have this experience all the time. They end up a week later, a year later, the next day, or some other time, walking down the street. And as they're walking down the street, something catches their attention, and it's a flower shop. And they immediately, their cognizance brings them back to the memory that says, I've seen this before. Wait, hold on. I've been in this flower shop before. And then sometimes you can even take it to a more provable level, and you can start saying what's in the shop or where you are without going in there. So you can say to your friends that are around you, listen, I've never been in this shop before. This feels like what do you call this? A deja vu. This feels familiar to me. I know I've been here. You know what? I don't just remember that I've been here before. And advanced people can do this, who do out of body practice or who have more refined shadow memories. They say, you know what? Go into the flower shop, make a left, and on the left-hand wall, there's a yellow tulip. There's a yellow tulip and a picture of the owner's mom. I've never been in there before, but I feel I've been here before. And then you send your friend in, and he goes in, and he turns that direction, left or right or wherever direction you told him, and he sees the yellow tulip, and he sees a picture of a lady. He doesn't know who the lady is, but just a picture of the lady. He asks the owner, "Who's that lady?" And the owner says, "That's the last owner." And then the person comes out and says, "Hey, the picture was the last owner." And then you say, "Oh, I assumed it was his mom. I didn't know. It just looked like an older lady. But was the yellow tulip there?" "Oh, yes." "Okay, see, this is the real entende, or the real deja vu, because you're not just experiencing sight. You can actually have touched the tulip. You can feel, you can smell, you can have senses in the out of body, and reintegrate those senses back into your physical body. And then every once in a while, you can end up there. You can also end up doing what's called one-pointed consciousness through remote viewing or remote sight. And you can actually share the consciousness of the earth grid, and you can actually see things through other people's eyes. That's a little bit more advanced. This is where you don't even have to leave your body. You can see the consciousness through another entity's consciousness, shared consciousness, which I showed. These experiments were being done by Ingo Swann. I showed the Canadian University. I think it was last class. I already showed this. I showed the experiments that were being done where they had the the waves, the electromagnetic waves, and they tuned them into the 7.8 of the Earth to the ionosphere, the resonance, and when people were vibrating on the same wavelength, they were actually able to experience and feel the same thing, even though they were in separate rooms. So you can have one point of consciousness where you can be at one point on the planet Earth and have the experience through whether it's through sight or through touch or through taste or through feel of someone else on the complete other side of the planet Earth or down the street. And then when your physical body gets to this place, it says, "I've seen this before. I've been here before." I can actually tell you, most cases it's not that advanced. Most cases people just have the feeling of being there before. That is a type of deja vu that you actually want. Of course, there's the regular deja vu where you've actually been there before and just didn't make note of it consciously. You actually were physically there at the place, and there was something that took place that traumatized or grabbed your attention. Maybe at that exact same moment there was a car crash or a boom or explosion, and most people, when they walk around, they're walking around in trance. They're walking around in a trance-like state, and then they snap out of it when they hear a sound or a noise. And then for a few seconds, they're very alert and sharp to their surroundings, and their subconscious mind takes in everything in their surrounding, and then they go back into trance, walk to work, walk to Subway, do the same thing they do every day, and then and go on with their life. And then they end up back in the area that they were in, and they say, "I've been here before. I've seen this," and it's because their senses are picking up the experience that they didn't even know that they had, because they were alert from something else that happened, and their mind quickly picked up the complete surroundings. There's other cases where you know you've never been to this place because you may have experienced it in Jamaica. And you know you've never been to Jamaica before, but you get to Jamaica and you're like, I know this store. I've seen this. You're taking a trip somewhere, or you go visit somebody. It doesn't have to be as far as Jamaica. It could be the next city where you know you've never been to that city. And then you get there and you're like, I've been to this skating rink before. I know where the skates are. I know what the color of the floor is going to be. So there's different reasons why people have entendes or vus, from view, deja vu, or one point of consciousness. But that is one of the reasons that I give and projectors give, and actually use this to experiment with, where they go to the place, and after they have the deja vu, they purposely have an out of body and go back to the place to truly prove it. They go back to the place, and then when they're at that place, they go to the place beside it, the next store. And they say, I know I've been to this one before. What's the store beside it? Let me walk into this one. And then the next day, drive down to that same store, and bingo. They just prove that the deja vu was an out of body. Because they can have intentional out of body experiences. That's the kind of deja vu that you want, because that's the kind of deja vu that can heighten your spiritual consciousness. Thank you for that question. A lucky shot. I'm going to answer that one. I'm not going to get into the ear ringing because it would be unfair for me to say what the ear ringing is to each particular person, when if we actually go and study these cases, there's so many things that causes people's ears to ring. It would be unfair and disingenuous for me to say, that is your reason. That is your reason. Just like the deja vu, I'm giving you an option of what out-of-body travelers do and their reasons for having it and how it happens to each person each night. And that's one of the possibilities of it. I'm not saying that's the only one. But boom, there's your answer. Peace and love to you. Welcome to the Tehuti Podclass, where you can come and ask anything from deja vus to totem poles to magic tricks to Akid Hotep to I don't know what I'm going to see when I go and click on my I don't know what I'm going to see. I don't know what I'm going to see. Okay, shout out to you, a lucky shot. Boom. All right, now let's so the brother there is not in the room that asked the question. I thought he was here. Apple Catheri. So if you're in the room, brother, come on in, say something, and I'm gonna go ahead and answer that question. If not, I'm gonna go on. I like to answer the questions when the people are in the room. They're sending their donations. And I like to know they're there when I'm answering it so they don't miss it. Okay, what's next here? We have, oh my goodness, Black's Alucard. Shout out to Black's Alucard. Let me put this in the room here. This man here, this brother here, I actually have him on my, I'm putting him on my diet program too. He's actually paid for a diet program. I do diets too. Welcome to the Tehuti Podclass. That's interesting. Let me go ahead and put this in here. Black Alucard with the huge donation. I would give you a round of applause, but again, my computer is not playing sounds too well, so I'm just gonna go ahead and physically clap when I put this in the room. Let's see, Black Alucard, shout out to you, my good brother. One of the most dedicated. I don't know where this brother came from, how he came across the room. Maybe he saw me on some other forum or some other video, but ever since he's been in the Podclass, this man has not missed one and has never ever not donated, with huge donations too. Okay, let me go ahead and put this in the room here. Shout out to Black Alucard. Hold on. Black Alucard. Gonna delete that. Going to delete this. Black Alucard, where is he? Here he is, pulling up. Black Alucard with the awesome donation. Not even a question attached, just a donation. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. He's always supporting. Boom, I'm going to give him a round of applause. He just said, thanks for the knowledge. Thank you. And I'm so happy that I could affect you in such a way that you give such a generous donation for just to say thank you. That is true reciprocity. I greatly appreciate it. This is what I do for a living, and it does take sometimes several hours and years actually to come up with the answers and information that I do. Even though you all are asking questions live in front of me. I remember Killer Priest asked me once, he said, how do you have the answers to the questions that people are sending in a super chat, and you already have the screens and the breakdowns and you already have the charts and the archaeology? And he said, how are you doing that? You're not preparing. You don't know what they're going to ask you. And this is because this is a result of decades of my own personal research. In a lot of situations, one of my goddesses just last week asked me a question, and I said, I put this answer together for you in 2006. I pulled up the information. It was on the Trinity, and when you press File Properties, it gives you the date of when it was created, and it was created in 2026. And she just asked me the question last week in 2022. When I put together the answer in 2006, it wasn't for anybody. It wasn't because anybody asked me about it. What I do in my spare time is I receive and gather information, sometimes in my sleep, sometimes through research, sometimes through inspiration. And as soon as I get something, I immediately start making a file on it. It doesn't matter if anybody's asked me about it. I immediately start making a file on Out of Body. I immediately start making a file on Medunet, or I immediately start making a file on Stephen Paddock. I immediately start making a file on George Floyd. Nobody's even asking me the question, because I know sometime it could be the next day or it could be 25 years later. Somebody's going to come and say, Tehuti, I want to know about, and boom, I'm going to have the answer, because I am 100% dedicated to consciousness and raising the minds of people, even if nobody's asked me a question. And also for my own mind, I may just ask myself a question and start answering it and putting together a booklet on it. And some of the things I put together from 2005, still nobody's asked me on it. But I just like to be prepared. But thank you for the appreciation of what I do, my good brother Black Alucard. I appreciate you, and thank you for appreciating me. Shout out to you, my brother. All right, let's go to the next. I thought the brothers who asked the question would be in the room, and we got some comments here. Jody says, I study similar way. I keep graphs, notes, colors everywhere. Awesome. We got Robert Williams says savant. So thank you. Yes. Galactic. Genetic memory. Yes, genetic memory comes like that too. Okay, we got Unki Mayat saying, please share, like, subscribe. And Unki Mayat, one of the moderators, says also, learning. This is supreme knowledge. Thank you. Okay, let's get to the next question. Let's see what's next. The one and only bro, ceaseless one. Shout out to you, my brother, Ceaseless One. Um, and Hybrid, what's his name? Hybrid Cipher always gives props. Let me see what he says. Last two answers really blew my mind. Definitely experienced that with the flower shop and even seen places in dreams I've seen later in real life. Thank you for the beautiful knowledge. As always, peace and blessings. That is from the awesome Hybrid Cipher. Okay, let's get to the next one. What do we have here? That's Black Alucard. Let's see who is next here. Let me go to the notifications. Um, Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. We have somebody sent in a donation to help me get the equipment. I said you guys send in money for me to get a MacBook. And let me put this here. I guess I got my first donation for the MacBook. Who is this? Anthony Jackson. Shout out to Anthony Jackson. I'm about to put you on the screen. You are awesome. And I'm gonna oh, that's a private chat. Hold on, everybody. Anthony Jackson, who says where is he? There he is. Anthony Jackson, who gave funds for equipment. Thank you, Anthony Jackson. I don't know if it's just for equipment in general or if whatever it may be for oh, it's not showing. Hold on, everybody. Let me make sure I show him. I'm gonna give him a round of applause. The computer's lagging. Anthony Jackson, where is he? Anthony Jackson with the big $50 for the Tehuti Podclass Equipment Fund. Thank you, my brother, for the Tehuti Podclass Equipment Fund. Yes, this equipment that I'm using, I do have equipment that I use, and I want to advance some of the equipment. I even had to get another one of these things here. It is quite expensive, so now you see I got two of them, right? So it is quite expensive to keep the equipment going and to advance equipment so there's no lags. And I think I'm going to try out this MacBook idea that Kamit is saying. But shout out to you again. I'm going to show it one more time and give you a clap again. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. Okay, let's go to the next one. We're going to knock these out. And oh, I wanted to give you a shout out, sister, but okay. Okay, okay, shout out to I was about to say. So yes, some people like to be anonymous. No problem. You all are beautiful. I have no problem with keeping you all anonymous. You know who you are, and I appreciate you very much. And you know who you are when you see the question. And I'm actually going to this question I have to answer next week, though. I have to answer when my computer is working properly, because this is something that I actually have to want to show a video and audio on, and my computer is not showing that right now. But I'm still gonna shout you out and put you on the screen, and I'm gonna work on this computer, troubleshoot it, or maybe have to get a new one, and then I can answer you the way that I really want to visually answer you. But I'm going ahead and shout you out anyways. And here we go. Put you in there here. Oh, 1 second. This is interesting. Here we go. We're gonna go delete this. Delete this. Okay, David Reed. No, that's an old one. Okay, hold on. One moment, everybody. Here we go. We're gonna go down to the person who wants to remain anonymous. So you're not gonna see a name, but I shout out for the donation, and I'm going to cover it. It's not David Reed. That's an old one. I just let's see if this shows up. But shout out to David Reed anyways for that, the day that he did support. But this is not the one I'm trying to show. What I'm trying to show is this one. Anonymous. How did they tap into solar eclipses? I actually want to discuss the concept of the solar eclipses, but I need to show some video. I need to show some video, have some audio playing. I want to show something that pertains to this answer, and I want to save this. I already put it in. I saved it in the file for next week when I can actually show this properly, or at least address this properly. Also, I want you to do this to the person who asked this question. If you can contact me directly on my Facebook Messenger and just tell me who is the they. I also don't want to assume. You may not want to say anything in the room right now, I guess, because you want to be anonymous as to who you are. So contact me directly in Facebook Messenger and tell me who's the they that you saw tapping into solar eclipses. I also don't want to jump out with an assumption answer, and it's not even the they that you're talking about. So if you can give me a reference or somebody who you're speaking about that you saw or heard of tapping into solar eclipses, that would also help me answer your question. Shout out to you for that, and we'll definitely get to that next week when I get more clarity and when my computer can actually work with its full video sharing abilities. But shout out to you for the support. Appreciate the $9. I appreciate everything. It's all important to me. Okay. Let me see. So let me get to the next one. Shout out to you. So I already have that saved for the next one, and just contact me directly and tell me who you're referring to and what the reference is, and we'll go to that. Okay, hold on a second. What is this? Wait a minute, everybody. I want to see this clearly. Hold on. Let me see something here, everybody. Hold on. I don't know if I'm seeing this right. Bear with me, everyone. Bear with me. My computer is lagging. Okay. One more second. Okay, so shout out to, oh wow, I see now Kamit with the huge, let me put him on here, Kamit with a huge donation again. Look at these questions. I love it. I love it. I love it. None of these questions have anything to do with the other question. These are such random questions. And yes, put me through this test. This is keep me sharp with all these. And I'm glad you all have the confidence to even send me these type of questions that are just so random to the average person. I mean, just why imagine walking on the street and asking somebody this question that I'm about to put on the screen. Here, let me go, like walking up to a brother in the conscious community and just say, hey, what is, watch this. Let me go ahead and put this on the screen. Is Kamid in the room? Kamid, are you in the room, my good brother? We're gonna end this podcast at a decent time today. I need to rest, so I'm gonna whip through these here. And I know Kamid is in the room somewhere. I'm gonna go ahead and check again, because I know he's always in the room. And let me go ahead and put his question up. I've never seen this question before in my life. I love it. I love it. Let's see what this is. Shout out to this huge... Shout out to Boom. Shout out to Commission with the huge donation. Hey, you look nice. Shout out to Commission with a huge donation. And look at the question, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this question. How many people have even seen this word in their life? This is like, look at this question. So awesome that you all think or have faith or even trust that you can just send in these type of questions to me. And I'm going to read this word. This is a word that that most people don't even, I've never heard of before. This is not a common word. Let me pull this down so I can see the word. Yeah, look at this word, ladies and gentlemen. Palindrome. What in the world? Palindrome. I don't know what the second part means. I guess your 2A stance. I'm not sure. But palindrome. Okay, beautiful question. Kamit, look at this randomness. Can Tehuti comment on this? A word that's never been said. Shout out to you, Kamishin. You are awesome, my brother. So, okay. So what is oh, let me get this off the screen. Sorry. Hold on. There's a little lag, everybody. Press 1 if you can hear me. We're doing another mic check because there's another little glitch. Whenever that happens, we're going to do a mic check. Press 1 in the room if you can hear a brother. If you can hear a brother. Press 1 in the room. Let me check the room and see. Okay, hold on. I guess. Yeah. Okay, so did you see people pressing 1? Are people pressing 1? Okay. Okay, good. You guys can hear me. Okay, so hey, Kamit. Well, first of all, let's get to this weird type of word, right? Palindrone. So what is this? This is just it's a word that kind of it's a symmetry type word. It's a words that are in a state of symmetry, or they are reflecting themselves on the back end and the front end. In other words, but In other words, a word that is the same whether you start from left to right or right to left. Um, so, for example, let's say madam. Madam is be Madam. So if you say it in reverse, that's still Madam. So it has a D in the middle, keeping the symmetry, and then it has two even letters echoing on the other side of it. Okay. So what is this? I don't know if, and let me see in the room and see if Kamid has ever seen my class I did on Sonnetter. Let me just check the room and see. So Kamid, have we ever seen my class I did on Sonnetter? It was called Stepping Out the Matrix. Oh look, people are typing them in the room too. Hannah, yeah, stuff like that. Those kind of. Did. Yeah. Did is a short one. Yeah. Um, you ever seen that before? My class on Sonnetter. It was called Stepping Out of the Matrix. People arming themselves. Palindrone was donation. Oh, okay. 2A stance. Do you approve of people arming themselves? Absolutely. I 100. I definitely agree with people arming themselves. You actually have to arm yourself. You should arm yourself. Um, I will actually maybe I'll give a big breakdown of this next week, but yes, there is a focus on disarming the population. Um, this is what a lot of the school shootings are actually about. I may cover this next week if it's asked, but anytime somebody discusses these kind of topics, a lot of times the YouTube channel gets pulled. But yes, the school shootings are about disarming civilians, taking away their arms, and villainizing weapons as opposed to the criminal that does it, such as calling an AR-15 an assault rifle. An AR-15 actually is not an assault rifle. So that's one of the subliminal terminologies that they give to associate this with an ability that other guns may not have. Like it has the ability to assault somebody. So if you take an AR-15 and lay it on the ground and take a Glock 9 and lay it on the ground, none of them will assault anybody. The person doing the assaulting is the person holding the gun. So whether you have a nickel-plated 22, whether you have a Glock 9, whether you have an automatic revolver, a machine gun, an AR-15, all of those things can assault people if there's a person on the other end holding it. But the AR-15 is the chosen weapon of choice for most of the open school shootings, and that one is the one that they choose to call the assault rifle, like as if the gun is assaulting somebody. A knife that you have in your pocket can assault somebody. The assailant or the assaulter is the person, not the weapon. So there's not an assault knife. There's no assault gun. There's no assault bat. Any weapon can be used for an assault. But maybe next class I'll actually go through when I'm allowed. I have to filter when I'm actually allowed to talk about, and maybe we can go over the armed topic. It's a very touchy topic on YouTube, and they definitely like to censor the talk of that. Okay, so anyways, man, we're from magic tricks to AR-15s to what's that other word? What did he ask about? The double word, the double word. So the the play of words going forward and backwards and having the same meaning actually was invented in Kemet, of course. Here we go. Everything invented in Kemet, but it was done a little differently. It was done where you say the word forward and you say the word backwards, and it's actually the name of the person stays the same. For example, the very first book writer on the laws of Ma'at. Let me go ahead and show this. Actually, I was supposed to show this for the Akhet Hotep question, but I don't see the brother who asked this. And then we'll get into what I taught about on Sonnetter for a little bit. Okay, let me see if this pulls up on the screen. See if I can show this in the MetaNetter. It's the first time where a play of words has been done where you say something forward and backwards, and it's actually the same thing. And it's actually done by the first writer of the laws of Ma'at, who is actually the father of the Akhet Hotep person who somebody asked me about, but I don't see them in the room. But I have their answer ready. One moment. My computer is... what is this? Hold on, everybody. Let me try this again. I want to show you this in the MetaNetter where actually this forward and backwards equalizing itself started. And then, of course, we'll get into some duality. But is my computer working? Okay, here we go. It's pulling up. I'm pulling up the papyrus axioms of Ptah-hotep. I'm waiting for it to unblur. I'm going to expand it. Okay, so here we go. Let me go ahead and do a screen share. And we're going to show you, I'm going to show you something very interesting. Okay, here we go. And then we'll move forward. Okay, let me go ahead and do a screen share. And here we go. So here's where this concept started from, where words are spelled the same forward and backwards. But here's where it actually had the meaning of it started from. Okay, here we go. So we're going to get into the literature of the first writer, the first archaeologically found writer of the laws of Ma'at. His name was Ptah-hotep. He actually started writing the laws of Ma'at at 110 years old. Most of us don't even know anybody who's 110 years old. Most of us don't even know anybody who is 80 years old and not suffering from some form of Alzheimer's, dementia, or something happening with their brain where their attitude switches, changes, forgetfulness happens. Most people don't know anybody over 80 who has not or is not experiencing that. Meanwhile, in Kemet, the first book writer of the laws of Ma'at started writing the laws of Ma'at at 110 years old. That's when he started. So we're going to go ahead and show his name and show how his name actually started this concept that the brother Kemet is asking me about. Okay. All right. So remember, everybody, please ask the moderators questions on how to navigate through the class. Don't start asking the moderators knowledge questions and starting side conversations in the class on knowledge and distracting them from the classroom. The moderators are here to guide you on where to find my debates, my past classes, books, and how to navigate through the donations and support. And please keep it as such, because other conversations can distract, and then next thing you know, people miss out on the information that they're actually participating in the class of why I open up the class for. So please stick to asking the moderators questions just about how to navigate and get information on things that are happening in the classroom. Thank you, everybody. Okay, let me go ahead and show this here. Here we are. And this here is the instructions of Ptah, and here's how it begins. So as you see here, hold on one second, everybody. Hold on a second. Hold on. 1 second. Okay. So when we look at this, we see Venerable Mayor Vizier Ptah. I want to explain to everybody what a Hotep is. A Hotep, you may find a lot of people saying Hotep as a greeting, which is good. But when you actually ask them what a Hotep is, they're not quite sure what it is, and they'll just say it means peace. A Hotep is actually an altar, and it's an altar that represents reciprocity. So reciprocity is when you give something and then you receive something back, which is what most altars are actually for. You are contacting the ancestors or donating something to them, in return hoping for some form of help, contact, or something from the other side. So a lot of people have altars set up where they offer food, offer different things that the ancestors liked while they were physical beings. That's another conversation. But in return, they expect to get something back. So a lot of this is called a sacrifice. So they sacrifice something, but you end up doing it because you're trying to please another form of consciousness so that you can get something back. So this was a Hotep, a Hetep. It represented a circular relationship. You give, you receive, and then once both of those things are balanced, then you're at a state of peace. So that's the word Hotep became associated with peace, because peace was a state of balance, of giving and receiving, that became a peaceful state when things were balanced. If you look at the name of Ptah, you'll see Ptah's name is actually the first name that shows a demonstration of a name going forward and a name going backwards, spelt the same way, going in both directions. So when you look at Ptah, who is the first teacher of the reciprocity and the laws of Ma'at, you'll notice his name goes PTH, and then there's a dash, and then there's HTP. If you do it the other way around and start from the other direction, you'll see PTH, and then there's a dash, and then it's HTP. This is the first time in history that we see a word that is actually a couple of words, but it's one name, where it demonstrates what the brother Kamit is asking about. Before the Freemasons took this concept and put it into English words, it was a symbol of a reflection of reciprocity or duality, or a reflection of something, meaning that what happens on one side happens on the other side. This created the religious, before it was religious, it created the concept of the as above, so below principle, or when the Greeks took it, it became the microcosm, macrocosm principle, that as something is happening below in one realm, the echo of it is happening in the other realm. One of the reasons why there's 3 great Akus or pyramids, and they're aligned in the skies above with the 3 stars of the Sahu that the whites call Orion. But that concept in writing started off with the teacher of Ma'at, who brought Ma'at to the world, and his name was Ptah Hotep, going the same spelling in one direction and then the same spelling in the other direction, which was a mirror image. This concept, let me get back to the screen to see if Kamit is still here listening. Okay, everybody, if you can hear that so far, press the 1 if you can hear that. Okay, so there it is. So Ptah Hotep actually is the origin of this concept that people are calling today palindrome. The palindrome, where a word goes frontwards one way and backwards the other way, and no matter what direction you read it in, it's saying the same thing. That originated around 2400 BC. That originated around the time of Ptah Hotep, and the concept was reciprocity. It symbolized duality, and this concept got put into Masonic words, because we have to understand that the English language and how they're being demonstrated and how it's being organized, which I've broken down in many classes, is a free Masonic language with several free Masonic codes. One of the codes, which I'm going to show on the screen, which I broke down on the sonnetter, and I think one time on Kill the Priest as well, I broke this down. But this was the concept that got into the Bible as do unto others as you would have others do unto you. That was another reflective duality concept. The Cometians understood, just like I broke down earlier, that everything in the physical world had a spiritual duality. Everything was a mirror image of itself. As you see something on the physical world, you can also see the same thing on the astral world, and that is one of the reasons why the word for spirit in Kemet was the same word for double. So doubling was a symbolism of duality, understanding the balance of each side of something, and understanding that you want something done to you as you would do unto others. This developed in Freemasonry as this symbol right here, which we've all said when we were a child, which is, and I've broken down this in many classes, whenever you go into a scenario or a situation, your parents may have told you, make sure you're on your P's and your Q's. P's and Q's is another symbol of the palindrome. I'll go ahead and show it on the screen. And that's why the Freemasons put these words together that look like that. None of this stuff is an accident. They're put together purposely. That's why when you go and look at the original word in the etymology, you'll see the original word wasn't even spelled like the one that ends up turning up as the palindrome word. So here we go. Put this on the screen here. So here we go. This is P's and Q's. So like again, the double concept starts off in Kemet, where the ba and the ka, which is the word for soul, is the same word for doubling. The exact same word for doubling, right? Over here on page 90 of the Param Haru, we see the word ka, which is my double. And you see the two hands reflecting each other. You come from the left to the right. The hand is faced one way. You come from the right to the left. The hand is faced the same way, just like the words are, just like Ptah Hotep is. It is in perfect symmetry. No matter which direction you go in, the image looks the same as the ka. It represents something doubled in a mirror. So when we were children, our parents would say, make sure you're on your P's and your Q's, because the letter P is the letter Q, just reflected looking at each other. And P stands for please, please, and Q's was for thank yous. This was the reciprocity double concept, that when you ask a question, you say please, and when you receive the answer, you say thank you, the reciprocity. This became P's and Q's, which was a symbol of two people looking at each other, because the letter P, the letter R, and these letters were actually symbols of heads of people originally. So you have P's and Q's. The letter P and Q is the exact same thing, and it represents this: a man looking in the mirror, and as he looks in the mirror, he sees the reflective image of himself. If you come from one direction or the other direction, It is the exact same image, and this created your concepts of words that are said today that look the same no matter what direction. They're imitations of the concept of Ptahhotep that actually started that, and it was a mirror image reflection which was based on the laws of Ma'at. I'm going to end it right there, my brother. More of it is on the Sonnetter channel under Stepping Out of the Matrix, where I go into the whole geometria on that. But I'm going to end it off like that. Thank you for that question, my brother. I appreciate you asking that, and I appreciate the donation. You are wonderful for your donation. Thank you. And he puts Tehuti, Tehuti, Tehuti. Oh, he put my name in it. He made my name the palindrone. Thank you. That's interesting. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Tehuti Podclass. Support, donate. You see the information at the bottom. I'm gonna give a shout out again in this little break to the moderators. We're gonna close down pretty soon. I have to close on at a decent time tonight. I know you guys like to have me here for 5 hours. I wanted to close on at 10:30, but I'm gonna do an extra maybe 35 minutes because I do understand that there was huge technical difficulties that actually had us starting the class extremely late. Follow the AI moderator on the screen that says support with the Cash App question. You can write your questions in the Cash App, and also in the PayPal there's a huge section for a complete paragraph where you can ask a question or just give a donation. Okay, that is the AI moderator, but we don't just have AI moderators. We have real moderators. And these real moderators go by the name of Anki Emayat, Nani Aset Mur, and Saneti Amun. And the unofficial moderator is Ahati Ma'at. These are the people that, if you want to know my email, my Facebook, different YouTube videos that I may be on, how to obtain the books, interviews, debates that you may have missed, upcoming events. These are the people that you contact for that information. This name, moderator, was invented by Stranger, who I don't think is in the room today, but he's the one that invented moderators. Okay, also a little for those who want to support. Speaking of the books, you can send in an email. The moderators will tell you the email where you can pick up the pamphlet Melanin Dark Consciousness, put together by Tehuti Amenhotep Ra, and also Secret of the Ages, Stepping Out of the Matrix. These are two, I call them beginner books, even though the information is very advanced, but these are my beginner books. These are books that will help people out of the matrix. Okay. All right. Let's get to the next one. I know there's more. So shout out Kamit. Appreciate that, my brother. Keep up the support. I really do appreciate it. And we have Lamar sending in a computer funds. Computer donation. Yes, I'm going to get a new computer. I'm going to take this computer. I'm going to probably wipe off everything off of it, put a protection on it, and then get another computer, start fresh, and maybe try that Mac thing out. I don't know. I've never had Mac, but I heard they are better in some cases. I heard the first time I heard about a Mac being better was actually in a rap battle. I think Conceited said something about how can a Mac that gets viruses, something like that. But anyways, I heard they were good. So all right, let's go. He said this is the first time you're gonna see a Mac running through Windows. I remember he said that. Okay, let's see. Shout out to Lamar Owens. Lamar, who's constantly giving support Appreciate that, young brother. I'm gonna put you on the screen for your support. He said, "How you call yourself ill when Macs don't get viruses?" Okay, here we go. Let me let's see here. Lamar, Lamar. Let's get you on the screen, my brother. Shout out to the support for you, and you are. Is this you? And I like the numbers you all send in. Like, can we send in 5005, and I think Lamar's sending in like 22-2, something like that. Let's see. We're gonna check it out though. Shout out to you, Lamar. Here you are. Lamar is also scribe in the room. Oh, 2272. I love the 72s. Wonderful. The 72s, which is going to lead into the answer of the solar eclipses. But 2272 for computer fund. What is. Oh, and there's a question here. Hey, there's a question here. What is Alexander the Great's Kemet name? Man. Wonderful. One of my goddesses just taught on this topic. Just answered this, just taught on this topic. This is very good. I like that. I thought this was just a donation, but I do see a question at the end. Great question. Let me see if the brother's in the room, though. Let me see if the brother's in the room. I'm going to grab some agua. Actually, one of my goddesses, I remember who it is. One of my goddesses who asked this, who taught on this, I am actually going to teach her tomorrow on this topic, on how to emphasize on this. This is great. Give me a second, everybody. I just need to step away for just a moment. Make sure this is good. And this is Scribe. Here he is right here. Here's the young man right here. Here he is. Hey, Kemet Haru Hancock. My brother Kemet Haru Hancock. I haven't seen that name in a while. I think I first seen that name on the Killer Priest show. And let me give a shout out to Kemet Haru Hancock. Kemet Haru Hancock. Shout out to you, brother. It's been a while since I've seen that name pop up. Okay. I'm going to put Young Scribe on the room here. I'm going to be back in just a moment, everybody. Just a quick moment. I'll be back. All right, I am back. Let's go. What's the question here? Okay, I'm back. Here we go. All right. I am back, everybody. Welcome. Peace. This is awesome. I love the question. And we got Scribe saying, I've tried to research this and couldn't find it. Thank you. I tried to research this and couldn't find it. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about this a moment, everybody. Hera Hancock says, Tehuti always has great content. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Okay, so who is this man? Who is this man that he's asking about? He's asking about Alexander the Third, Alexander the Trinity. A lot of people don't know that Alexander's name was Alexander the Trinity. He was Alexander the Third. They call him Alexander the Great because Europeans feel he was great. He was actually the first European in history to rise to power. The first European to start conquering. He started the world conquering and annihilation of people and of natives. And he behaved a little differently, actually extremely differently, though, when he got to Kemet. This made him very unique. So when he sent his men and his troops and himself traversing the world, attacking and warring with everybody, conquering them, slaughtering people, something very interesting happened when he got to Kemet. He didn't do that. When he actually went to Kemet, his attitude was actually completely the opposite. His attitude was to preserve for some interesting reason. And the reason was because Alexander the Third was actually influenced through sex magic by one of the last native pharaohs who influenced his mother to have his mother impregnated and believe that the child would be the savior child. This was the first concept of the savior man in the physical form, not the savior man stories, but the savior man in the physical form. This was 332 when he arrived, 332 to 333. He believed that he was the son of Amun. This was confirmed to him by an oracle. I don't know if this story is starting to sound familiar to you, but this was confirmed by an oracle. So this man named Ander, who is considered the son of God, was considered to be a powerful man who would be a savior or a son of Amun, who would preserve the ancient cultures, and he was confirmed to be this by an oracle. Of course, we know what this story created, and this story created the story of the One, who became known as the Neo, who was to save people from the Matrix, and he was the son of Ander, because you have Alexander, and then you have Ander's son, right, which was Neo, who was who was prophesied to come through a black man named Morpheus, and then confirmed through the black oracle. Okay, and thus you have Alexander, who was prophesied or who was wanted to come through some Kemetic pharaoh. This is a whole other story. And then confirmed through the so-called Libyan oracle to come into Kemet. Because of this, Um, he came into Kemet, and one of my goddesses just broke this down, and she showed that I have classes where I train the goddesses on how to teach, and she showed that Alexander actually wore the horns of Amun. And Amun was the ram-headed god who wore the horns. Okay, one moment. My eyes are. Hold on a second, everyone. Let me see. My computer is. Oh, look at this. Hold on, everyone. One moment. What is this? Save mode. No. Hold on, everybody. My computer is giving me a warning now. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, everybody. Hold on. Hold on. My computer is giving me a little warning. Oh my goodness. Okay. And the brother scribe, do you have the books? Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Computer's going crazy. Do you have the book Stepping Out of the Matrix? Wow. My computer's going nuts. Do you have the book Stepping Out of the Matrix? Okay. One moment, everybody. I want to actually show something on the screen here. Yeah, Nectem Nebo. Nectem Nebo II was the one who convinced Alexander's mother, that she had sex with Amun and gave birth to the chosen child who was Alexander. And then that child came into Kemet believing he was entitled and believing that he was the son of the god Amun. And thus he wasn't there to destroy Kemet, but he was there to preserve it because he believed that he was part of the bloodline. And I want to show something, and I'm going to see if I can find it in my own book. One moment, everybody. My computer is going crazy. Be a little patient with me, everybody, because I can't even. I right now cannot even see the StreamYard page. Let me go ahead and see if everybody can. My screen looks black.
Is it plugged up?
Press one. Press one if you can hear me. Everyone, do a little mic check. We're gonna start the mic over. Start the sound check over. Press one if you can hear me, please. My computer is going nutty. Let me see if the ones pop up on the screen. Tell me if you see ones on the screen. You see ones? Okay, good. Okay, I am back, everybody. My screen went black for a second. My computer's giving warnings. But I am back. Okay. 1 second. I'm gonna pull up my book. You have Stepping Out of the Matrix? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find. I'm gonna pull up something in there. This computer is. What in the world? Do you have the Stepping Out of the Matrix book? Okay. Okay, I think I got it here. One moment, everyone, please. One moment. Hold on. Okay, is my screen is going nuts. All I see is black. Right?
Close to the end.
It could be. Okay, here now I can see myself again. Okay, everybody. Boom. Let me see something here. Little patience, everybody. I'm just gonna pull up something from my book, and my computer is its own entity. Hold on. I'm definitely gonna get something. I gotta get something new next week. Okay, here we are. Finally. No, I haven't. I'm pulling it up still. Still waiting for it to load up. It shows him on like a stone. Mike, this computer is crazy. Hold on, everybody. I can't even see the screen. Okay, now it's pulling up. Is this it finally? This is okay. Bear with me, everyone. I think I got it. Hold on. Oh wow, it's pulling up emojis. Okay, here we go. Let's see what comes up here. 1 second, everybody. I want to give you the page number. Okay. You see it? Oh, do you see it? It could be just a name. Oh wait, the spiders. Hold on. It's crawling away. Okay. 1 second, everybody. Hold on.
This is the one that talks about the mother.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to show you where it is, but my computer's going crazy, so I'm still gonna see. This is too hard. Okay. All right, brother Scribe, are you there? Press 1 if you're there. Even my spider's going crazy. You found it?
What's the specific goal?
Okay, I can't really talk that much.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All right. So I'll just go ahead and tell you. So in Alexander's name, Alexander Mary Amun Septepen Ra. That's one of his Kemetic names because there was several names there, but you'll see the word Mary Amun. This Mary Amun, which was one of Alexander's Kemetic names, was actually taken from Ramesses' name, the Mary Amun. So when you look at the word Mary Amun, it means to love Amun. Now this is very interesting because you shouldn't have a Greek man coming in saying that they love Amun unless they really loved Amun. This is one of the reasons why. So Mary Amun Septepen Ra, one of his names, is a clear understanding that who he loved was not the Greek gods. He didn't love any of the Hebrew prophets. He was Mary Amun. And the Septepen was the chosen. The chosen. He didn't believe in the chosen people of Israel. He believed in the chosen people of Ra. And he was the Mary Amun of that. So this is why you have at the ending of the prayers, which I've broken out many times, whether it is the Hebrew prayer or the Islamic prayer, all coming from the Septuagint, you have the word Amen because of the deity that was inside of his name, the Mary Amun, that was inside of Alexander's name, represented the hidden one. It was the sun at its last process. So when the sun in its early process, it becomes the Bach, and then you have the Ra or the Aten, and then you have the Amen, which is the nighttime. That is the ending of something. And that is why you have the ending of the prayers ending in the name of the God. That is the hidden ending symbolism of the sun, the hidden one, the unseen one. This is why, and let me see if I can pull this up. I'm trying to find the image of him with his name written underneath him. I thought it was in my book. I think I have it here. Wait a minute. Wait, I think this is this one of it. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay. This computer's not working with me today, but the hold on a second. It's still doing it. Oh, I think I got it. Here it is. Wait. I think I got it. Work with me, computer. Work with me today. Work with me today. I'm going to pull this up. Here it is. Here it is. Just wait, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to pull this up and put it on the screen. This was what I've been trying to pull up for a little while, but my computer is slow, and I want to show scribe this if this is it here. Come on, computer. Come on, computer. Pull it up. I like to show things. I like to show archaeology. Oh, up there, man. Up there. Go back up. This guy's all over the place today. Okay, and of course the computer is just, man, it's not working with me today at all. But that's okay, no problem. No problem. And I don't know why it's not showing this. Alright, let me try to pull it up one more way, ladies and gentlemen. Just bear with me. One more way. You all know me. I like to show the things that I'm speaking on. So I'm going to try to pull it up maybe as a JPEG. But it is just not. Okay, let me try to do it this way. Open. Open. Oh my. Wow. Oh, it's horrible. This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Why is it not showing? Okay, let me close that. Close that. It's just showing a white. Maybe I can expand the whole screen. Wow. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, is this showing me now? Pull up, please. This showing me a white screen. Very strange today. Very strange with this computer today. It is just showing. The screen just went white. Okay, so I may not be able to show this to everybody. I wanted to show this to you, Lamar. I wanted to show you this on the actual wall. And it's just not showing me. But anyways, very weird. But yeah, that is one of his Kemetic names, which has Mary Amun, Alexandros, inside of his name. he keeps the Alexandros part, but he makes sure he puts Mary Amun, which was the one who is loved or who loves Amun. Unfortunately, my computer is not cooperating and showing me the images so I can show you, because I want to show you it actually engraved in his wall. He actually had it engraved with him in front of Amun, and I wanted to show you the archaeology on that, but it's just not showing. Yes, and it is kind of hard to look up sometimes, and it's just not showing. So I'll have to get it another time. Maybe next one I'll show it, but it's not showing it. The computer's lagging too much. Okay. Yeah, so let's move on, ladies and gentlemen, because we're about to close up really soon. I've answered a lot. I know there's more. I may have to cover it next week, but I am gonna close up in a few minutes. And I'm pulling up the next notifications. Even my computer is saying something's not right. Okay, here we go. Okay, a lucky shot. Okay, I saw that already. We have shout out to so I hope I answered the question there. You can look that up, and I'll actually send you maybe I can send you the image in the Facebook Messenger, so you can look it up. But yes, Mary Amun, Septempenra Alexandros. It's a Kemetic name, but it still had some Greek in it. But the Kemetic part was a tribute to the god that he loved, and it was not a Greek. It was not the Greek gods. Okay, let's shout out to Jamal Lewis. Jamal Lewis, who's asking me to play something, but unfortunately, Jamal Lewis, I can't play anything today. My computer, everything I play is slowed down and strange. But I'm going to go ahead and put you on the screen. Shout out to you. I cannot play anything off of YouTube or any video, so I couldn't answer some of the questions. One of the questions, because it was video based. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you a shout out anyways, and I'll put the name of I'll say the name of what you want me to play, and maybe others can go look it up to support the person that you're trying to promote, or maybe it's you. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the screen, and everybody go look up and check out this song, and give us feedback next week. Tell us if you like it. Okay, so here we go. This is from Jamal, who gave a 666 donation. 666 donation, and will it? Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Will it turn up on the screen? 666 donation. I'm waiting for it to pop up on the screen. Shout out to you, brother, and thank you for the donation and the support. And let me do this. Okay, delete and delete. Okay, and let me see if it showed up now. If it's going to show up, 666 is the donation amount, and that's 555. That was for Easter last week. Shout out to you for asking about Easter. We broke that down. The last class, very thorough breakdown. You guys go check out the last class. You'll see the Easter breakdown. But that's not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking not the 555, but I'm looking for the 666, and this should be it right here. Here it is, coming up. Shout out to the brother Jamal. Let's see the full name here. Should pop up on the screen in a second. Shout out to the brother Jamal Lewis, who says play Kemetism by J. Alexar on YouTube. Shout out to you, my brother Jamal Lewis. Shout out to you. I don't know if you are Jay Alexer. So there's two reasons why I can't play that. And one is whether you are or are not Jay Alexer. I've played a YouTube video of a music video. Actually, we played on Killer Priest. The person actually said we could play it, and they didn't know that somehow in the programming of the video, it gave us a copyright strike, and they said they didn't do it, but it was in the video. I don't know if it was the producer that put it in there. We don't know what happened, but if it's you, then I can play it next week. I can't play it today because my video function is not working. As you can see, there's a lot of lag today. But I will play that Comedicism next week when my computer is able to play things better. Okay, so absolutely. So everybody go check it out. I'll put it on the screen one more time. You guys can all go look up that that track and go support it. Go listen to it. Tell us what you think of it. It is Comedicism by Jay Alexander. So there you get a shout out, you get some advertisement. Anybody who watches this Podclass for years to come will probably go check it out. You'll get a lot of hits. And then next week I can actually play some of it when my computer is working more smoothly. Shout out to you, my brother, and good luck on your music career. Good luck. I hope you go far with the music career there. Okay, we got oh yes, what is this? As Black Love. I like that name. Shout out to As Black Love. Are you in the room right now? Are you in the room right now? As Black as Love. I see it now. As Black as Love, are you in the room right now? Are you in the room right now? I'd like to give you a shout out and tell you if I'm going to answer this question right now. What's this? We'll call this 9. Let me check the room and see if As Black Love is in the room. As Black Love, are you here, brother or sister? I'm not sure which one, but are you here in the room? Are you here in the room, As Black Love? Let me check the room. As Black Love, are you here? Okay, I love to answer questions. Hotep to Chris Vlog. The Chris TV Vlog. Hotep Brother Tehuti, Hotep to you. Okay, As Black Love, I don't see you in the room right now, but I'm going to go ahead and answer that next week. That's going to be a nice long breakdown. It's already 11:30 over here, and I would like it if you were in the room. If not next week, I'm still going to go ahead and answer it, but I love it when the people are actually in the room. I know that there's different time zones, so sometimes somebody may ask a question and it's 10 o'clock. By the time I get to their donation, it may be 1 in the morning and the person falls asleep, and I'm here trying to shout them out, and they're snoring because it's 3 hours earlier where I am. So I'm going to go ahead and break that down next week. We're going to get into comedic portals and such. I don't see you in the room, but shout out to As Black Love. Let me go ahead and put that in the I'm going to go ahead and put that in the room just to show that I acknowledged it, and it's a great question. And here we go. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the room, and I like the name. As Black Love. We'll go ahead and start the next week's Tehuti Podclass with that. Let me go ahead and give you a shout out and put you in the room so everybody can see. I will address this next week, hopefully when you're in the room, and maybe when I can get to it at an earlier time. There was a little issue today. There still is with the computer. The computer lagging. It caused us to unfortunately start this podcast about 40 minutes later, which pushed the answering of the questions to later, and I definitely have to go very soon. So next week, hopefully, we can start the class right at 7, and we won't have these type of issues, and then we can get more questions in. So I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to As Black as Love, who asked this awesome question and gave this great support, which is they asked about. Hey, I deleted. Here it is. Okay, good. Who asked about black holes in comets? Let me go ahead and give. This is a nice long answer, so I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it its full due respect next week. So it says, As Black as Love. Shout out to you, As Black as Love, 2032. Thank you for your teaching. You're welcome. Are there any references to black holes in ancient Kemet? We will definitely get to that next week. Shout out to you. We're actually going to cover, we'll go ahead and cover wormholes and spiritual holes and such. Beautiful question. Thank you for the support. You are great. And let me go ahead and refresh this. And I think that is it. I had a couple from last week. I don't see them in the room, so I'll go ahead and put that to the next week. I think I had one brother that asked a question, and I don't see him in here, and I wanted him to be in here. It was about, I'm gonna have to get to it next week. Then it's about the Bible, the Ethiopian Bible, and it's linked to the Septuagint. He was a brother that young brother I debated once. We discussed and debated, and then he turned into somebody who comes regularly to the podcast and asked great questions. But I knew him from Twitter, and we had a nice little debate on Ethiopia, and from there we've been interacting. He has great questions too. So, but I don't see him in the room either. Okay, so we're gonna get to everybody. So let me go ahead and get ready to close up everyone, because I do gotta go. It is 11:33 over here. I have a great day planned for tomorrow that I have to get some rest for. So let's give a shout out to everybody before we close out. We have a couple of those questions from this week that we're gonna start off the next class with, and everybody, we're going to shout you out. I'm going to say the affirmation, then we're going to close up. Shout out to Galaxar Channel. Shout out to you, and shout out to your music. I hope everything's successful. Shout out to you. Shout out to Kamit, who says, Tehuti, you are the netter. You will actually like the MacBook better. Is he rhyming? I guess he's rapping. Tehuti, you are the Neteru. You actually like the MacBook better. Cayenne pepper. Tea before the Ma'at class. You will power through 4 hours. Great class tonight. Interesting. Thank you, Kamit. I don't even know if I'm trying to power through it. I actually want the classes to be like 3 hours. Shout out to you. Shout out to Jody. Shout out to, it's not even showing the shout out. Shout out to Ahati Ma'at. Shout out to Rigo. It's only showing Kamishan on the screen, and I'm putting Rigo and Jody. This computer is massively slow. Massive. Kamit 101. Computer is massively lagging. So shout out to Rigo. Shout out to Joe. Look, it's slowly going. Now it's slowly gonna go to Jody Arrigo. Super slow. Look at this. Rigo. Too much fire on those files. Shout out to you, Rigo. Shout out to Ahati Ma'at. Shout out to the scribe with your great questions. Shout out to Kamit with his awesome support, constantly supporting. Shout out to Black Alucard. Shout out to this person here, brother here, who always is supporting, always is in the chat. Al Vesquez. AI Vesquez. Shout out to you. AI Vasquez. There you go. Okay, I can see the name now. Shout out to you. Shout out to Master K. Shout out to Andromeda Miserabilis. Shout out to Anki Mayat. Shout out to Heka Kepara, great supporter who's always in the room. Shout out to Nania Setmer. Shout out to everybody, and I'm gonna shout out to the moderators. Not the moderators, but the moderators. I'm going to shout them out. We're going to do the affirmation, and then we're going to close out this class. We're at 3 hours and 47 minutes. It would have been even more if we started on time. But the computer lag didn't allow it. I'm happy that we even got this. I wasn't even going to have the class today because of the computer lag, but I'm happy that we got this information out. Shout out to the moderators, Unki and Ma'at, Nani Aset Mur. Let me get AI Vasquez off the screen because we can't see Sanetia Moon. Okay. Shout out to showing AI Vasquez like he's one of the moderators. I got to get his name off and show Sanetia. So Unki and Ma'at, Nani Aset Mur. And and Ahati Ma'at. Ahati Ma'at is the unofficial moderator. YouTube will not let me allow him as a moderator for some strange reason. But shout out to him. His name should pop up on the screen in just a moment. These are the moderators. They are the people that help you navigate the room. They are the people that help the room become smoother. They are the people that help me with any missed questions or anything that may pass me up. They are the people that also help send me the notifications for the questions that are asked. These are the helpers. Anki and Ma'at, Nania Set Mur, Ahati Ma'at, and Saneti Amun. For some reason, oh, there it is. Ahati Ma'at is there. Okay, good. And I'm going to cut out Ahati Ma'at so you guys can see Saneti Amun. Here it is. Okay, so Anki and Ma'at and Nani Aset Mur. And then there it is, Saneti Amun. And it's covering the Saneti Amun. It's just the other part's covering it. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in the room. You guys are all awesome. We're going to end off with the affirmation. And then we're going to close out. We definitely battled through this class with all the computer computer glitches, all the freeze ups, and everything else. Grab me Nagash. So we're going to end off with the affirmation, and the affirmation goes like this. Anki em ma'at un ms nin tet aset em mayat Min Hebapet and Mayat, her and Hukiui, per Ikut. I live from Mayat, I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Mayat. Every day advance towards Mayat. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. I'm going to move this off the screen. Okay. Once again, everybody support with questions through Cash App. Please support through the PayPal. Send questions in, send donations. Even if you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, you can send in questions even midweek. I will see them. We're going to say peace. Thank you.
You're okay.
We're going to say peace to my animal companions here, which is
I say peace to my little friends.
peace to my animal companions, who is Charlotte, who's been very active tonight, and Nakas, my Honduran species, hypomelanated. Nakash, say peace to everyone. Nakash is absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. I'm glad that everybody enjoyed the pod class tonight. As you enjoy all the pod classes, share the pod class. Let everybody see from anywhere in the world. Send the information out and let people see that there's a place that they can come to ask these vast questions and get thorough answers. You can check me out every Friday at 7 o'clock here for those who are just watching and may have missed this pod class. Every Friday at 7 o'clock here, you can check me out. Okay, and you can ask questions. You can also find me on Facebook under Tehuti Brown. And you can find me, of course, on YouTube under the channel that you're watching this under. Set your set reminders, set your alarms, and you will be updated. Every once in a while, you will also see me on Sonnetter TV. Shout out to Nania Setmer, who says, best chat. Thanks for joining. Shout out to Sanetti. Okay, I'm back in. Yeah, the computer kicked me out of the room. This is just crazy. Shout out to Sanetti, who I was putting her comments up before the computer kicked me out of the room. Now I don't see her comment. Here it is. Shout out to Sanetti Amun, one of the moderators, who says, whenever it pops up, oh, there it is, who says, thank you everyone for supporting the Tehuti pod class. And shout out to my other moderator, Anki Ma'at, who's somewhere, here it is, who says, the greatest class. Shout out to you and thank you for your support. And shout out to Ahati. Shout out to Scribe. Shout out to J Galaxa channel. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Jody. Shout out to Jordan, who says something about the ice cream man. Hey, the ice cream truck didn't come today. The ice cream truck did not come today to disturb the pod class. The computer did. Okay, shout out to Jordan Man, who says ice cream man strong with the lag. Peace and blessings. Tehuti. Okay, shout out to you. All right, everyone, join us next week for the Tehuti pod class. Hopefully, by that time, maybe I'll have my MacBook or some other computer, something that's working more smooth, and we'll be able to have a smoother class like all the other classes. Thank you, everybody. Hybrid Cypher, who is always supporting, always complimenting, he's always doing everything. And then Kamid, of course. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in the room. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Corn Conjure, who is asking a question about are the snakes medicinal? I can't even put up on the screen because the computer is lagging. Are the snakes for medical? No, they're not for medical, but come next week and we can actually discuss what the snakes are for, and I can do a class and cover part of the class on that. Shout out to Corn Conjure. Shout out to everybody that has come to the Tehuti pod class. I want to end off with the with my ending, but it's gonna be choppy. It's gonna be very choppy. I'll still put it up just for visual purposes, but it will be choppy because the computer is lagging. So, and for those who want to know the affirmation that I say, there it is on the screen right there. You can look at that on the screen. And let me go ahead and remove this comment. Shout out to Jordan Mean. The comment is lacking. Comment is lagging, so it's actually not even showing the full comment. I'm gonna go ahead and put this comment and then hide it. Everything is slow today because the computer is just slowing us up. But I'm going to go ahead and shout out to Nania Setmer, who said Cash App, Tehuti, Amun, and PayPal. It's not showing up on the screen because everything is lagging today. And I'm going to get this off the screen. And we're going to go ahead and close up. I love everyone who comes to support the Tehuti Podclass. You guys are awesome. And peace and love, everyone. And we'll see you next week at the same time. Shout out to my goddesses. Shout out to my children. Shout out to the students. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Shout out to everybody who watches this when they wake up. Appreciate everybody. You guys are absolutely wonderful. Okay, there is Nania Setmer finally popped up on the screen. Cash App, TT Amun, yes. And Rocky SV. Thank you, Nanny. We're going to go ahead and hide the comment so I can go ahead and close out with the video. The video is going to be a little choppy, but at least you'll see the visuals. Okay, peace and love, everybody. See you all next week. You all are wonderful, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's class. Peace.